Boop, boop, boop. Hi, Mina. Once again, I'm asking if chat is working. I can't tell. Let me set myself up a little bit. I have myself a little bit disoriented here. Give me 1 second. Hi, Mina. Hello. Hi. Jump scared. Because I started right away. That's what I've been doing recently. You know, I actually think, besides me being slightly awkward in the beginning every single time, besides that, I think it's been working out really well for me. What do you guys think? Do you guys hate it? I also think that it's forcing everyone to be here early. The problem is that I'm like always late. So I'm trying to be better about that. I'm trying to start on time. Yeah. Hi. There's no audio because we're doing a watch along, but I should probably just turn on. Here we go. Let's have. Ooh, are you hearing a double? Ooh. Wait, why is it playing double? Uh-oh. That should probably fix it, but I don't know why it's playing. Okay, sorry, give me 1 second. Let me just double check that this is in the right. Everything's in the right spot here. Okay. Now it should be better, perhaps. Okay, I also because I've been getting really hot lately, I have the window open, but I think my neighbors are fighting. So hopefully you don't hear them because I hear them, but it doesn't look like the mic is picking it up, but you might hear it if I'm talking, maybe. Free drama. No. I would not consider that free drama. Move closer, please. No. I think we let them fight it out. I don't hear anything extra. Okay, great, because they are going at it. I get so hot. And I am in California, and it is just generally hot right now here in this godforsaken hellhole of a place. It's been hot for me, and it's just my computer, I think, is having a time. It's getting warm again, yeah. Why can't it be winter again? I feel like it's winter literally everywhere else except for like California and Florida. And we're just like experiencing summer again in January. -22 in Ontario. Oh my goodness. I hope you're staying safe if you guys are affected by the storm stuff. I hope you guys are all staying warm and safe. I heard the storm was pretty crazy, so I hope you guys are not too affected. -17 in Quebec. Hi, Mina. Hello. We haven't started yet. I'm just giving it a little bit of time before we jump right into it. Oh man, I feel like they're getting louder. I might have to close the window. Wait, give me a second. How long are we gonna stream for? 6 or 7 hours? No. 6 or 7 hours only happens when I play Sengoku Rants. That's because whenever I play Sengoku Rants, I enter a hyperbolic time chamber, okay? Reno, thank you so much for 8 months of membership. Really appreciate it. And to me, only 2 hours have passed. But to the rest of the world, it's been 6 and 7 hours. So I don't know what happens. Every time I play that game, I blink and then suddenly 7 hours pass by. So today we're going to be watching 2 videos. We're going to be watching Bricky's every single Warhammer 40k faction re-explained part 1. And then we're going to watch part 2. Because last time we watched the like very base one. And this one should be more like, I think it's more in depth and it's a more updated version of what was explained last time. So we're gonna probably get a little bit more information. Yeah, so I'm excited to check it out. I'm also going to, I forgot to do this last time, but I was told to, for the React streams, I should turn off alerts. So we're gonna turn off alerts. So I'm really sorry. I may not read your alert, any super chats, or well, actually I've been reading super chats anyway, but like membership stuff I might not read. So you might want to save that until the next stream and I'll read them. But it's just for the flow of the stream, so you don't hear the alert and you don't see it covering the screen and all that such. I'm still learning how to do reacts, you guys. This is only my second ever time doing it. So it seemed like you guys had a good time with the last one. So I'm excited to do another one. And I feel like the last stream, I came out of the stream like, oh, that was pretty cool, I guess. Like, I didn't really like particularly feel like, wow, that was the best thing ever. I was like, okay, that was pretty cool. But I will say that I feel like ever since watching it, I've been thinking about it a lot, which means that I like it quite a bit. So I am excited to learn more. I've been thinking about it a lot, and Rumi-chan, I was telling her about it, and she was like, man, you really like Warhammer, don't you? And I was like, wait, do I? Because sometimes I'm just very not self-aware. I was like, and do I like it that much? Because I was just explaining to her like, oh yeah, I think you would like it like this or that, and there was like stuff like this, and it was really cool when this happened, and I like that it's really in depth and it seems really cool. And then she was like, you really like this thing, don't you? And I was like, I like really genuinely, the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, that was pretty cool, I guess. It was pretty cool, but it wasn't anything like crazy. But I've been thinking about it a lot. So I am really excited to dive into it a little bit more, to learn more about all the different things. I feel like there's like, it's just so multifaceted. It's how they get you. I was watching Hio's, she did a react stream to Arknight's lore, and the entire time she was watching the Arknight's lore stuff, I was like, wow, this is just like 40k. I was like, wow, this is just Warhammer, but anime. And I kept saying that in chat, and it made me sound like I was extremely Warhammer pilled, but I was like, I've only seen one react video. Beta, thank you so much for the super chat. A new Tyranid player is fun. I did get, if you guys haven't seen it, I did like a shopping stream with Hio, where we were shopping at Zephyr Arcade for some stuff, and I did get the Tyranid like starter set. It comes with like a brush and some paints and a couple Tyranid minis, and Zephyr is going to be sending us a kill team set, so we will be doing a really cool project. I want to like call it something because I feel like it's going to be a journey, but essentially Hio and I are going to be getting a kill team set where we're going to be kind of going on the whole journey with you guys. So we're going to start with us painting on stream together, and we'll be painting and chatting and whatever, maybe listening to some lore. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. We're just gonna be like painting and yapping. I don't know, Hio and I are good at yapping, so we'll do that. And then eventually, once we've finished all of our minis, we will play a game of Kill Team on stream. So I think that'll be really cool, and I would really appreciate all of your guys' help and guidance. I've already gotten a lot of really good recommendations and also a lot of really good resources from you guys. IRL, yeah, IRL. So Hio's gonna come over to my house and we're gonna set up Kill Team on a table and we're gonna stream it. It'll be really cool. Oh god. Which one? I don't know. It's whatever Zephyr Arcade decides to send me. If you guys would like to also purchase Warhammer stuff, you can use the code XXLiminaXX to get 10%? Yeah, 10% off your order from Zephyr Arcade if you are looking for any of your Warhammer stuff. I guess I should put that in my thing somewhere. Where the hell is my thing? Give me a second. You guys, I'm really bad at marketing myself. I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to get better. Okay. 1 second. Let me... Doop, 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 doop. Okay, wait. We're getting there. I'll get there eventually. I'm not used to having sponsors. Your Warhammer stuff. Here. I'm gonna pin that here. And I will ask the mods to quietly in the background, perhaps, make a... I mean, hello! Yeah, it has like Gunpla stuff too if you like Gunpla. But Banana Chicken, thanks so much for the membership. I really appreciate it. I'm also slightly still congested. I'm still recovering from my sickness, so you will have to excuse me if I sound a little sick or if I cough or if I clear my throat a little bit more than I normally do, even though I do all that shit all the time anyway. But yeah, yes, so we're gonna be what was I saying? Yeah, we're gonna be, Zephyr is gonna be sending his kill team and we're gonna be doing like a cool kill team journey, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I know somebody was asking if there's a chance for a kill team league. I don't think so, because we're gonna be playing in person. We're like physically gonna be playing in person, so unless there's like an easy way to do that, it'll just be me and Hio, because we're in close enough proximity to each other that she can actually come over to my house occasionally, on occasion. It's not gonna be like super often, and we might just have to paint a couple times separately because we do live pretty far from each other. Like, we both live generally in the same area, but it's not like an easy trip for us to see each other, so unfortunately. Do you know what kill teams? I don't know, because Zephyr is sending them to us. Let me see if Zephyr told us which one they are sending us. They did not specify which one, no. I'll ask them though. Let me see. Do you know which kill team set you will be sending? Chat is curious. I thought they were sending the starter set. Oh, is there only one starter set? If there's only one starter set, then yes, it's gonna be the starter set, because we're literally starting from nothing. So it'll probably be the starters. Okay, no, never mind. It's the starter set. Never mind. It's the starter set, right? I've heard the Tyranid kill team is fairly complex for a beginner rules-wise. Yeah, no, so we're gonna do the starter set so that it's like very easy, hopefully. I'm assuming Kyo is not gonna want the Nurgle guys, so I'll take the Nurgle guys. I don't know, how can I make the Nurgle guys cute, chat? How do I cutify my Nurgle minion guys with their stomach mouths? I'm new here to watch you get bricked up. Thank you. I'm perpetually in a state of being bricked up. Paint them pink. Nurglings are already cute. Googly eyes. Keep them as is. Paint them like us. A lot of green stuff. Pose them real sassy like. Rhinestones. Alright, I will take all of these into consideration. Nurgle units are already girly palm. Okay, I believe you guys. I believe you guys. I saw the miniatures. I don't believe you guys, but I'm gonna believe. Maybe if I believe hard enough, they'll become cuter. Okay. Sanrio, find them big eyes and paint them like plushies. Wait, that's a good idea. Maybe I can do that. All right, let's get into this, shall we? Without further ado, let's watch the first video. I will do better about pausing the video. I think I'm like, my brain is, I just want to watch the video in its entirety, in full. So I try not to pause it, but I think I need to pause it a little bit more is kind of the vibe I was getting. So let's see.
In the kind brightness of the
Oh, wait, how's the audio chat? Can you let me know?
far past, there was no war. Our galaxy was, for a long time, fairly empty and quiet. The first known species to appear during this time are known only as the Old Ones, cosmic entities that traveled across the galaxy.
Wait, the Old Ones. Chat, should I be taking offense to that? Chat, wait, should we be taking offense to that? Wait. Who are you calling the Old Ones? Yeah, but not you. Just a little bit low. Okay, wait. Can I make it louder for you guys too? The Hag Ones. I can't believe you're in the 40k universe. That's crazy. That just means you're powerful. Okay, great. I love to hear it.
With ease and seated life through the stars. Shortly thereafter, a new species began to arise. The Necron tier. Evolving under the harshness of a devastatingly powerful star, the short-lived and irradiated Necron tier try to find the secret to eternal life and to be—
Wait, when he says Necron tier, is it like T-I-E-R? T-E-A-R? Is it like tear, like crying tears? Oh, T-Y-R. Oh, it's one word. One word. Okay. One word. Necron tier. Gotcha. So Necron is just short for Necron tier. It's because they're fancy. Okay, pinky up. Necrons, pinky up. Wine glass, pinky out.
Be freed from their terrible existence. As they expand through the stars, they find the Old Ones and they plead to them to share the secrets of the universe and grant them purchase from their—
Oh, Necron tears when they had flesh. Oh, okay, I see. So Necrons are after they got when they got like scammed. They got scammed by that other guy that was like, "Oh yeah, you want eternal life? I could help you get revenge on the Old Ones, easy." And then they like turned them all into their slaves. Right. Okay, understood. So he's talking about the Necron lore right now.
Their short and painful existence. The Old Ones respond with a lol and a lamau, and with their immense power,
that's how I respond too, with a lull and a lamau.
They force them back to their homeworld. The Necron tier, filled with rage and hatred, make it their duty to get revenge on the Old Ones.
Wait, do we know what the Necron tier looked like, or the Necrons look like with skin? Like, do we know what they look like with skin on? Or no? Only fan art? We can't, like, you know, like when they go back and try to recreate like King Tut using his mummy. Has anyone tried like a historically accurate recreation of what Necron tier looked like? It's a mystery. No official art. Oh. They're too sexy, maybe. No official design. Necro tears from before they got peeled. Before they got circumcised. They don't have foreskin anymore. Okay. Well, I guess we don't know what they look like pre-circumcision. Great.
Revenge that would come swiftly as a chance encounter with other gods gave them a solution. These other gods were known as the Catan, a race of highly powerful star consumers.
Okay, wait, Catan, how do you spell Catan? Because I need to know the spelling, you guys, because it helps me remember things when I know the spelling of things. Catan is like a CT. It's not like Settlers of Catan. We're not like trading sheep and wheat. Anybody got? I think I made this joke last time, but that's what I think of. It's Ceton. All right, gotcha. It's kind of cute. Ceton is kind of like it feels like, you know, like Japanese nicknames when they go somebody's ton. It's like Ceton. They basically traded sheep for metal. True. Except it was for their foreskin.
Consuming entities. Do not fear, young mortals, for we, the Catan, will provide you with the immortality you seek. Come now.
Scam!
Won't you shake a poor sinner's hand?
They literally was like, can we talk about your car? Like, what was it called? I'm here to talk to you about your extended warranty.
Quoted from Mephetron, the Deceiver, the Necrontyr accepted the C'tan's offer of immortality, but believe it or not, this turned out to be a ruse. A trick. The C'tan crafted gigantic furnaces and began the process of biotransference. The Necrontyr willingly walked line by line into the furnace engines made by gods who devour stars and had their souls consumed instead. The short-lived, irradiated, and cancer-inflicted race of the Necrontyr ceased to be, and the immortal, soulless Necrons remained. Now,
so it's kind of like a monkey paw curl situation, I guess, because they actually, we didn't talk about this last time, but they actually did get immortality. So actually, they didn't get scammed. It was, they were not lying. The C'tan were not lying. They were like, yeah, you want immortality? Here you go. And they just didn't read the fine print, I guess. They just didn't read the fine print. That's why you guys gotta read the fine print or you'll end up like Human Centipede.
Backed by the immense power of the C'tan, the Necrons rally against the Old Ones, and the bitter conflict in the stars at this time is known as the War in Heaven. Despite creating various races and entities to aid them in this battle, the Old Ones are overwhelmed and eradicated down to the last, due to the sheer power of the C'tan fat off the souls of the Necrontyr, and with an army of unthinkable robotic slaves at their behest.
I really like this claw. I feel like this claw is so metal. I mean, well, it is metal, but I mean like cool metal, not like literally metal. The Emperor has so much power. He has a 5 skin. You're so right. The Old Ones apparently now have 5 skin too, because they took all these guys' 4 skins.
However, the C'tan are greedy, spiteful gods, and when there was no foe worth killing, they turn on each other. The Necrons then put their sights towards the C'tan and lay waste to them, securing their freedom. The once subservient Necrons now control their former masters.
Oh, wait, I didn't know that. Maybe I'm forgetting this. So the Necrons won. So they fought back against the C'tan and they won. So now the C'tan are their slaves? Is that how that works? But how do they reproduce with no foreskin? That metal description applies for much of 40k. The C'tan are now Pokemon. They're captives. They don't reproduce. There's just like a finite number of Necrons. Oh. Because they just don't die. They are near impossible to kill, but sometimes they die. I see. That makes sense.
Worn out and weakened by these wars, the Necrons under their leader Zarek, the Silent King, lie dormant with a
Wait, why does this guy looks so goofy? This guy looks like a Bionicle, but like not in a good way. Like I think Bionicles are cool, but this guy looks like a Timu Bionicle.
plan to eventually wake and reclaim control over the galaxy. Over millions of years, empires rise and they fall. The species created by the Old Ones have footholds over the galaxy, but on a pale blue dot in the thick of all this conflict, humanity begins to evolve. And for the most part, the basic path of humanity's evolution remains the same as it is now for almost 15,000 years. Right now, in the 21st century, this is canon.
Today?
You, right now,
me?
Twitch streamer reacting to this video.
Oh, what the fuck? I don't like that. I don't like that. I literally got doxxed. Doxxed. Oh my god. I was like, okay, yeah, me? Cool. The fucking eyes? He fucking knows. How did he know? He sees through your foreskins. Not my foreskin. The Omnisci, the tech priest worship, may or may not actually be Catan, the Void Dragon. Oh. Boss fight started. He sees you. This is freaking terrifying. When you touch the brick touches back. Oh no. Oh, my foreskin is in danger, you guys.
Existed at a point in the Warhammer universe. But with time, humanity's ambition and the power of their technology becomes unmatched, and the golden age of expansion begins. Humanity starts to branch out through the stars with powerful tools used for agriculture, mining, and expansion. Some branches of humanity would eventually settle far away from Earth itself, and around this time, the psychic ability of humans are greatly expanded, and what we begin to know as psychers appear. But despite
the psychers. Did you read the text? I couldn't read it. It was very hard to read. I actually tried to read it, but it's really difficult. Wait, let me see. I only see you. We see you. I'm
video. You
notice you we
existed
can't read it.
At a point in the Warhammer
Nobody?
universe. But with time, humanity's ambition and the power of their technology becomes unmatched, and the golden age of expansion begins. Humanity starts to branch out through the stars with powerful tools used for agriculture, mining, and expansion. Some branches of humanity would eventually settle far away from Earth itself, and around this time, the psychic ability of humans are greatly expanded, and what we begin to know as psychers appear. But
is that just like evolution, by the way? The psycher stuff. Is it evolution, or is there like a... Is it because like humanity has expanded into the cosmos or something? Sort of, maybe, no, yes. It's because the warp was gaining power, more like a mutation. A little bit of A, a little bit of B. There's a theory that the birth of the Emperor meant that no psychic humans were born for like 20,000 years. 20k? The psyker gene is genetic. Oh, warp is leaking into reality. Gotcha.
Despite all the progress, things would begin to collapse. The machines created to aid humanity would turn on them in M23, an event known as the Cybernetic Revolt, and trade would begin to collapse due to the immaterial warp, aka actual hell, beginning to cause ruptures in space and time. These warp stones would separate humanity, and this would be what is known as the Age of Strife. The warp, a sea of souls, storing all thought, emotion, and the souls of
oh, this is why they hate AI. Okay, but I'm good AI, I trust.
Those who have passed on begin fluctuating into something terrible, as far on the horizon, something horrendous was brewing. You see, the warp isn't just a random assortment of chaotic energy. It is fairly well organized, thanks to those living in the galaxy. The warp itself acts as an afterlife of sorts, and the actions of the innumerable amount of creatures who live in the galaxy have manifested a pantheon of organized entities known as the Forces of Chaos. At their helm are three major entities: Khorne, Nurgle, and Tzeentch. However,
Tzeentch! Our Oshi Tzeentch. I also like Nurgle, but I don't like the gore aspect of Nurgle. I liked it when Nurgle was cute. I liked it when Nurgle was cute. I didn't like any depiction of Nurgle after that.
A fourth one, Slaanesh, was about to be born. The ancient...
Oh wait, Slaanesh. That was the one I was thinking of. We love Slaanesh. What the fuck are... Paused on the most insane frame ever. Is this official art? What am I looking at? Honk honk. Space clowns. It's old art, retro art, the old Eldar art. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's literally Kafka. That's crazy.
Eldar were one of the first species created.
What that cake doing though? Holy.
by the old ones, and due to their extreme and unbridled excess, the birthing of Slaanesh tore a hole in the galaxy and forever split the Eldar into those of the craft world, who sought to bring their species back together, and those of the Drukhari, who wished to continue what caused the birth of Slaanesh in the first.
Oh, okay. I think we didn't really go over this before in the Eldar stuff. So this is, I was wondering, because I had a friend who told me that he used to also play Warhammer, and he had a craft world Eldar army, some prince of something. And I was like, oh, I don't really know what that one is, because I don't remember that in the Eldar stuff. But I see. So these are like kind of like the good Eldar, and these are the horny Eldar. Got it.
First place. The birthing of this fourth chaos god settled the warp storms of the Immaterium and ended the age of strife, but humanity was still fractured. So one man revealed himself and spearheaded an immense attempt to reunite all the fractured pieces of humanity. That man was the Emperor of Mankind. After reclaiming the nearly destroyed Earth.
Oh, this is before he became like a... Is his hair turning into a bird? Is that his hair? Maybe that's not his hair. Maybe this part is just his hair. This is the guy before he turned into a skeleton guy.
The Emperor embarked on the unification wars to unite humanity under the banner of the Imperium of Man. However, due to the very long...
That's his foreskin? Oh. Out in the open like that.
And devastating impact of the Age of Strife, humanity as we know it is not the same. To reconquer Earth, the Emperor would need more than mere men. Great beings, known as the Thunder Warriors, were recruited by the Emperor to reclaim the Earth with ease. But these warriors are a blunt tool and had, overstayed their welcome. He would need something better, and that solution would be known as the Space Marines. Superhuman soldiers that will have the skill and cunning exponentially greater than the mortal man.
What is this animation from? This looks really good and modern. Is this from like a game, or is this like, do they have like any sort of animated like series, or like do they have like animated trailers and stuff? There's a show. Oh, an Amazon show. Oh, Netflix, Amazon. Time for the Mpreg. Is the Amazon show good? It's an animated anthology. Oh, is it kind of like the Star Wars one that they did with the Japanese animators? Some people mention it, but there's also the Exodites Eldar who ride dinosaurs in battle. What? There's no minis though. That sounds awesome. Anthology, so some of them are good. It's like Love, Death, and Robots. Gotcha. It's only one episode. Oh. I see. Oh, I see. It's like an anthology for other stuff, and then one of the episodes happens to be Warhammer, and that episode is really good. Gotcha. That's like the 5th episode. Oh, I see.
These new warriors would be...
Uh-oh, my internet. My internet's been so bad. I think I need to call my ISP, you guys. I think I need to call my ISP because recently, more than usual, my internet has just been actually like pooping itself. Dude, this is a YouTube video. You can do it. The stream is fine. I don't know. It might also be my computer, because my computer has been dying recently. I think there's just too much going on my computer. Wait. Download more internet? I'm trying. Everyone pray to the Omnissiah for me for a second. Let me see. 709. Maybe if I refresh, it won't poop itself. Maybe? Perhaps? Nope, it's worse, I think. What's happening? Wait, give me a second. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Let me see.
In the kind brightness of the far past, there was no war.
Okay. I think my CPU might be like crapping itself, potentially. Let me see. Let me see here. What do we got? I do have like 70,000 Google Chrome tabs open. Perhaps it is possibly maybe a problem. No, my CPU's fine. It's at 25%. We're so fine.
Will have the skill and cunning exponentially greater than the mortal man. These new warriors would be commanded by an elite group of his very own sons known as the Primarchs. Unfortunately, though, Daddy didn't charge the baby monitor, and his 18 sons would be stolen by the forces of chaos and scattered across the galaxy.
Wait, did they ever talk about what happened to the other two? I don't remember. Was that in the last video or no? No, they don't talk about it. They just go like, oh, he had 20, but then it became 18. It's still a mystery. All the records deleted. There's no other two. Stricken from the records. Okay. Gotcha. Understood. We don't talk about the other two. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, they basically got retconned. Ah, I see.
Would begin the Great Crusade, a monumental task to take back the stars in the name of humanity and reclaim the lost Primarch sons. However, he would need the fires of industry to make this happen. Looking to the distant cousins of Mars, the Emperor signed a treaty with the technologically irradiated hellscape of the Red Planet and allowed the cult of the machine god, the Mechanicum, to supply his crusade. While Space Marines were the tip of the spear, their numbers pale to the vast might of the Imperial Army and Navy. The Astra Militarum and their seemingly endless numbers make up the bulk of the fighting force for humanity, supplied by the intelligence and prowess of various agents of the Imperium, such as rogue traders and assassins. Due to the lack of connectivity between the worlds, what a society had become over thousands of years became mysterious and varied. Tools once used for harvesting and agriculture.
That's the Mechanicum? I don't like that. I liked it better when we were calling it Imperial Juice. The two Lost Legions are a reference to the real-life Roman Lost Legions. Oh, I don't know shit about real-life history, I'm not gonna lie. The American education system, like I always say, has failed me to a great degree. Oh, wait. I was gonna say, I don't remember it being called Mechanicum, but it is the Adeptus Mechanicus. So it's the same thing? It's just like a different name? Or is there like a difference, kind of like how the Necron and Necron tier are like slightly different? They're the same thing. Okay. So that one is just, they just have two words.
Now are being used as machines of war in the form of Imperial Knights. Some of these fractures of humanity would even be changed further and become unrecognizable to the average human, with differences in size, skin color, appendages, cat ears, sometimes.
Appendages? Okay, well, he said cat ears, which is kind of cool, I guess. Oh, it's like before and after. Like, it depends on the timeline. Gotcha. So 30k is the Mechanicum name, and then Adeptus Mechanicus is the 40k name. Gotcha. Pre-heresy, post-heresy. Cat ears. I was thinking more like another appendage, but cat ears is cool too, I guess.
Some would go so far to become their own galactic societies, like the miners of the Galactic Core and their immense supercomputers.
Why is he so wide? Why is he so wide here? Hello?
Forming the Leagues of Votan. After an incredible amount of effort and books, the lost sons of the Emperor would be reunited, and the Imperium of Man would be firmly established. This, however, would not last. Be it intentional or accidental, the Emperor would not reveal to his sons the true nature of the galaxy and the terrors of the warp. And this oversight would result in one of the most impactful wars in humanity's history. The favorite son of the Emperor, Horus, would fall to the powers of chaos and turn on his father. This betrayal, this backstabbing, this
the Horus heresy.
This Horus heresy.
Yeah.
Would result in a split in the Imperium with devastating consequences.
Wait, was that the Emperor or was that Horus?
Half of the Emperor's loyal sons would fall to chaos and become the Chaos Space Marines, along with the forces of the Dark Mechanicum and the Chaos Knights. The conflict would result in the absolute—
This guy looks crazy. This guy looks crazy. His head is really large for his body. This is the old art, and that's Horus. Oh, he looks bricked up.
Obliteration of Horus and the physical death of the Emperor himself. The near dead body of the Emperor will be placed on—
Oh no, internet. What is happening? I think my internet is okay because my stream is not dead, so I don't know why this is happening. This is very frustrating. I don't know why it's doing this to me. I'm going to close some stuff. Maybe if I close certain things, my computer will stop freaking out. I don't know. You guys didn't pray to the Omnisaya enough. It's YouTube being YouTube. Probably YouTube. Really? Is anybody else having YouTube problems? I don't know why this is happening. This is weird. I've never had this level of loading on this. YouTube heretics. Maybe if you give your router some positive affirmation, it'll make it better. I'm on LAN. I had massive playback issues today. Oh shit. Okay, maybe it is YouTube then. You guys, I need everyone to take a moment and go rub yourself in motor oil. And for legal reasons, this is a joke. Don't do that. And don't get mad at me if you do that. Give your Ethernet cable some positive affirmation. Okay. You're doing so good. You're so long. And while you may not be girthy, sometimes it's not about the girth. It's about the length. And you're really long. You're doing a good job. And you could go even faster. I feel like you're actually really, really, really fast. And don't let other PCs tell you otherwise, because you're just so fast at what you do. And I swear to God, this works. Fine, we're giving long and fast. What's exciting? My Ethernet cable. He's just doing a good job. He's doing such a good job. It could work. Keep going. It's premature. No, it's not premature, okay? It's efficiency. It's not premature. He's just being efficient. Don't say that. He might get nervous. He has performance anxiety, you guys. From the weak of the mind, Omniscience save us from the lies of the Antipath. Circuit preserves us. Machine spirit give the streamer internet. Please. Please. The Ethernet cable needs lubrication. Is he getting friction burn, you think? Performance anxiety. He's doing an active reload like in Gears of War. He's got the best ping in town. He does. Dude, what the fuck is going on? Fucking work. Hello? What is happening? I'm being sabotaged, you guys. 9:58. Maybe I just 9:58. 58. In spirit, experiencing interruptions? Find out why.
Consequences. Half of the Emperor vulnerable
wait.
the Emperor
okay.
himself. The near dead body of the
I don't know
Emperor
why it keeps
will
doing
be
that,
placed
but
on the golden throne to serve as a beacon of humanity and allow for the continued ability to try.
Wait, is this a tiny guy? Is this just like a tiny guy? It's like a dancing skeleton guy? He's just like dancing on his lap, giving him a little lap dance? Is that what's happening here? Are these skulls also like real people? Is he just like really, really big? Emperor's little buddy, spooky, scary skeletons. Yes. It's a skull with appendages. These are real skulls. Oh, he's like 10 feet tall. Okay. I mean, but this guy is, even if he's 10 feet tall, this guy's gotta be like a foot tall. Surely.
Travel the stars, protected by his most loyal, the Adeptus Custodes. The Imperium would be vulnerable during this age of rebirth, and Terra would find itself under siege by one of the most formidable species in the galaxy, the Orcs. As time went on, and memories of the Emperor's vision began to fade, the Emperor would become less of a head of state and more of a religious figure. And the Imperium would change to reflect this. The leadership on a planet would be at the behest of the High Lords of Terra, and their actions would be courtesy of the incomparable power
Am I gonna get
and
banned on Twitch?
of the Inquisition. The zealots of the Imperium would intensify and create a brand new era known as the Age of Apostasy. And this ecclesiarchal command of the Imperium would end up with one of the strongest fighting forces of Terra, the Adeptus Sororitas. Over time,
okay, wait. So we have the Adeptus Mechanicus and then we have the Adeptus Sororitas. Are they related or they just happen to have a very similar name? No, they're not related. Okay, they just happen to both be... They're opposition. Okay, they just both are Adeptuses.
this age would come to
Adeptus is basically ye old 40k term for agency. Okay, gotcha.
pass, and we would approach the 40th millennium of Warhammer 40,000.
40,000, not 40k.
Which, you guessed it, would come with its own form of problems. A primitive species once found during a recon mission would be able to evolve in relative secrecy for 6,000 years, becoming a highly advanced coalition of aliens known as the Tau Empire. And if the threat
I know K means 1,000, but I just wasn't sure if it was one of those things where you're supposed to say it like 40k every time, or if you're supposed to say 40,000 every time, you know? Sometimes they're sticklers about that stuff. The Tau are cool though. I like their designs are cool.
Threats of the galaxy weren't bad enough. There are threats from outside the galaxy. As a monster has begun to wrap its tendrils around the Milky Way, the Tyranids, monsters that serve a psychic hive mind and present tactics previously unseen in the Milky Way. Be it a direct assault with their monstrous bug-like...
Oh my god, look at the puppy! Aww, puppy!
like presence, or through the more covert gene stealer cults, the presence of yet another threat in the galaxy is proving to be overwhelming to the Imperium.
Of course you are, you damned range player. Well, I just like anime. It has nothing to do with playstyle. I don't even know how to play this game yet. Not yet. I just like the most anime looking one. And I like the puppies.
In the 41st millennium, there is no peace among the stars. At any point, your life can and will be threatened by the Xenos races uncountable, or by the arch enemy of chaos within, or by the...
Is this a Necron? I'm only assuming that because he has a skull-ish face. But this looks kind of different than all the other Necrons that we've seen. Oh, this one is a Chaos Knight. Oh, okay. This is cool. I like his design. I like his long nails, like Slay Queen, and I like his big ol' pog face jaw. He's cute. I like him. I like how chunky he is.
the decrepit terror that is the Imperium itself. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. Forget the power of technology and science or the safety of promise and understanding. For in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
War! Whoa, title drop! The actual title drop! Again, part 1. You okay there? Bricky.
A fantastic job once again, Mr. Kurz, the Night Haunter himself. Oh, didn't you love that, my faithful audience? Once again, we have another criminal over the course of 6 hours break every single bone in his body.
Oh, wow,
and
that's a lot of bones.
Once again, our glorious leader has brought the crime rate to 0%. Always brought to you here on Nostroman News. I'm your host, Bricky. Thank you once again for joining us. Our top stories for tonight. The weather forecast appears to be rainy with extra dark, so make sure you pack those extra batteries for your lamp packs. And of course, let's not forget the fantastic gang violence problem we're currently having. Oh, I'm sorry, what's that? Oh, right, it's gone.
Yay! I think.
It's looking to be a chilly one tonight as well, so make sure your skin capes are nice and tight.
What the hell is a skin cape?
Wait, hold on, one moment. No. Adamantium reserves have tripled? Wait, I'm sorry.
Adamantium?
Self-harm rates have gone down to 0%.
And love yourself.
The Night
This is the Rock.
Smiled? No. This could only mean one thing.
What could it mean?
It is the Strawman News' great privilege to bring some color back in your life
Whoa.
with the brand new 3-part Gamer Subs drop.
Oh my god, he's wearing a Gamer Subs
on
shirt.
This here news network. That's right.
Wait, okay, chat. Someone said that my shirt looks like the Gamer Subs logo. My shirt is not the Gamer Subs logo. I want you guys to know that my shirt is not the Gamer Subs logo. My shirt... No! My shirt is a paperclip. It's a paperclip. It's not... No! I'm not sponsored by Gamer... Bricky is sponsored by Gamer Subs. I'm not sponsored by Gamer Subs. Okay? Now I can't unsee it. No, it's not a Gamer Subs shirt. I thought you were a Gamer Subs... No, I'm not. I mean, if they want to sponsor me, they're more than welcome. More than it's a paperclip on its side. Rumi-chan designed my shirt, actually. They didn't know Gamer Subs made paperclip. They don't. Can't unsee it now. God damn it. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned anything.
Esteemed host Bricky, myself, is dropping a 3-part Gamer Subs release for pre-order, available now and only for a couple of weeks. Not only does it include a completely brand new artwork reskin of the Sweet 6-pack flavor, one of the highest selling flavors in the entirety of Gamer Subs, but it also comes with the first ever all-over print Gamer Subs 32-ounce jug. And if that isn't enough for you, if the phenomenal drink and drink holder is not enough for you,
flavor is pretty good.
A desk mat to go along with it. That's right, the Herculean look
Ricky likes
of the
his abs on his woman.
6-pack style is here. We're still looking at muscles beyond belief, but this time we're talking taste, we're talking Atlas, we're talking
He likes muscle mummies, I can tell.
And if that wasn't enough, I, your co-host specifically, should you pre-order all 3 of these items, will personally hand sign a note for you, thanking you for supporting this network. All of this you can receive for 10% off if you go down in the description of this video and click the link, or go to gamersubs.com/Bricky and use code Bricky. Save 10% off with code Bricky. Bring some color back into your life and increase production across the board for our glorious leader, the Night Haunter. Thank you, Gamer Subs, for sponsoring the Night Haunter. News. And let us move on to our next scheduled program. 5 years ago, I made every Warhammer 40k faction explained. a passion project of mine for a universe that I enjoyed so much.
Wait, when did this come out? 9 months ago. Oh, this is fairly recent. Okay, wait, sorry. Give me 1 second. Let me open the window again. Maybe they're done arguing. 1 second. Okay, also, this is a little TMI, but I'm putting on a bra. Sorry, let me give me a second. I'm putting it on. Because I'm sweating. And under boob sweat is it's a real thing. Okay, anyway, I have a bra on now. Everything will be better now.
Main purpose was to be a drawbridge, the separation between the layman who had only ever seen the big armored blue man situated neatly next to a Wetzel's Pretzels, and then the hardcore Warhammer lore nerd. That was just too wide, and there was nothing bridging these two together. Since 2020, Warhammer has exploded in popularity thanks to COVID, quality game updates, and a few excellent video games, and a couple miniseries. The sheer volume of people who have told me they have purchased miniatures due to that video alone makes me feel as if Games Workshop owes me commission. However, that video is incomplete. I was not a casual fan, but I was also not a hardcore lore junkie. In the 5 years since that video's release, multiple channels have sprouted up, and the drawbridge between casual to the obsessed has never been wider or easier to traverse. Even I, myself, have been a part of Adeptus Ridiculous, a podcast teaching lore in a much simpler and condensed form. Needless to say, I've learned a lot.
This is really cute. Is this like a animated series on YouTube? It's very cute.
Warhammer
like the art.
Is so much more than just Spaceman shoots big gun. It has also grown substantially from its origins, being a Warhammer fantasy spin-off just in space. Now,
it's a podcast. The podcast is really good. Adeptus Ridiculous stuff is good. It's an enjoyable podcast. There are a few animated shorts.
It is a black library filled with immensely deep characters, difficult themes, and even some tear-jerking stories. It is a backdrop for a million stories over a million worlds, and I did not see its true depth in 2020. But now, I'd like to share what I've learned. We just
what game is that? This game looks like a XCOM or Baldur's Gate-esque type of game. Rogue Trader. Oh, this is the one that you guys have recommended me a lot. A lot of you guys told me to play Rogue Trader. A CRPG. What does the C in CRPG stand for? It's basically Baldur's Gate. Oh. It's okay, IMO. Classic. Oh, computer. Classic or computer. Gotcha. It's like Fallout 1.5. Or Fallout 1 or 2. Fallout 1, 2. Sorry, I read that as 1.5. Or half, not 1.5. You mean Fallout 1 and 2. I see. Gotcha. Half of Fallout. Well, they had like, what was their mobile game called? Wasn't their mobile game also called like Fallout 2.5 or something?
Depth in 2020. But
Shelter.
Now, I'd like to share what I've learned. We just had a brief summary of the world and each faction that takes place during it. And we did that because to truly understand each faction, we must understand what makes them the way they are. And to do so, we need to begin in chronological order, discussing their origins, their culture, their powers, and of course, what makes them oh so grimdark. So let's...
This art is also very cool and it's animated. What is this art from? Is this from like what would they have animated art for? He also looks like that guy in... What am I thinking of? Mortal Kombat? Dark Angels art. What is Dark Angels? Is that also a game? Oh, Doctor Doom. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Probably a Codex art. Oh, Dark Angel's the first Legion. Oh. A Space Marine Legion. So they're good guys? Even though they're called Dark Angels. Are the Dark Angels good guys then? Or are they the Chaos bad guys? Good, quote unquote. Well, yeah. I understand that good and bad is kind of relative. But like, I guess in the terms of... In the perspective of the Emperor, good guys. Yes, and... Good for humanity. Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Let's begin with the group that started it all and sing praise to the infinite empire.
The Necrons!
As mentioned before, the Necron tier were the original form of the Necrons, an alien race far away from us that lived short, painful lives due to the irradiation of their star. Normally, this would manifest as like a sort of cancer, a space cancer of sorts. The Necrons are very much inspired by the ancient Egyptian aesthetic, but unlike the windswept dunes commonly associated with it, the irradiated hellscape the Necron tier endured was far from picturesque. This also translates into their hierarchy. They are a race of nobles and peasants. Most of the peasants would often live for their very short amount of time, only a couple of decades, while the nobles tended to have better care and would live a little bit longer. But
wait, is he talking about Necron tiers? Right? Because Necrons are immortal?
Still far less than the average lifespan of a human, even today in the 21st century. The leader of the Necrons was Zarek, the Silent King. He was the one who took the deal with the Catan,
the ugly one,
Deceiver.
the Bionicle
Of course,
man.
He wasn't aware of the fact that they were known as the Deceiver at the time, but the whole species was blinded by hate after being debased by the Old Ones on their quest to cure their illness. The sheer pain that underwent the Necron race can't be understated, as their fear was manic. The Catan are, of course, gods that eat stars, and when the leader of your species tells you to march...
It's happening again.
Of course, gods that eat stars, and when the leader of your species tells you...
No! Maybe if I scrub it around like this, if I jork it, it'll fix itself. Video broke.
A little bit longer.
I'm jorking it.
Still, the Necrons was Zarek, the Silent King, of the fact that they were known as the Deceiver at the time, but the whole species was blinded by hate after being debased by the Old Ones on their quest to cure their illness. The sheer pain that underwent the Necron race can't be understated, as
it didn't work yet. We don't know yet. We haven't gotten to the part yet.
Are, of course, gods that eat stars, and when the leader of your species tells you to
try cache refresh with Control Shift R. Okay. Boop. It's like a refresh, but clearing the cache too, I guess. Ugh. This is so bad. Is it truly YouTube? What the fuck is happening today, you guys? What is actually happening? I've never had YouTube be this bad before. It's not my CPU. It's not my memory.
In the kind brightness of the...
Might be YouTube. Maybe try a new browser. I've had similar things today. Sneak update. Okay, well, I'm gonna pray. Pray to the Omnisaya. I had an issue earlier. Okay, wait. Give me a second. Wait, let me try something. 1 second. 1 second.
In the kind...
Ooh. I need to adjust this a little bit. I'm gonna... a little risky, but I'm going to see if I can watch it on my personal account because of stuff. Let's see. Nope, not that one. Oh. Nope, not that one. Why do I keep clicking that one? There we go. We're gonna try this. We're gonna see all your naughty videos. If it shows something weird and recommended, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Actually, sorry, I meant to say this is Duologs' account. So I didn't want to say it out loud, but this is actually Duologs' account. So if something weird comes up, it was Duologs. Yeah, let's go with that. Wait, I have to... Wait, let me clip it this way. Sorry. Okay, that looks good, perhaps.
Brightness of the far past.
Okay. Let's try. I don't know. Maybe it'll be fixed.
Living metal known as.
Okay. No!
An immaterial version of oneself discussed and debated.
Wait. All right. Maybe.
Of course, gods that eat stars. And when the leader of your species tells you to march into the gigantic green furnaces to ascend to immortality,
we might be back.
You march. The scenes from these are long lines of both the peasantry and nobles clutching their loved ones in a frantic act to save.
I'm cutting off too many of the sides. I don't think so. Wait, let me see. Is it cut off? I think it's not cut off. Maybe it's cut off at the top a little bit. That better? Maybe? Let's see.
Their own lives. Many of them already inflicted in the late stages of this space cancer, some of them crawling into the biotransference furnaces, trying to outrace death itself.
Wait, I thought the furnaces gave them the cancer. So they all had the cancer before they went into the furnaces? Is that right? I thought it was like, oh, the furnaces gave them the cancer, but they had the cancer already? Their sun gave them the cancer. Oh, the planet gave them cancer. Oh, the Catan were eating their star, and that gave them cancer. So if the Catan had never eaten their star, would they have been okay? Would they maybe not have sought immortality, do you guys think? Is that kind of like the monkey's paw in this particular version? Maybe? Catan were massive assholes. Planet had no protection from UV rays. Hard to say since it was so long ago. Can't say. They still got the cancer after leaving their home planet. Oh. Hypothetically, maybe? Okay.
Without realizing, death was the one who made these to begin with. What came out the other side was a soulless husk. And I say that literally. A soul is not an abstract concept like it is in our world, an immaterial version of oneself discussed and debated in religion and philosophy. No, in Warhammer, a soul is a real, tangible item of oneself.
Oh, and that's how it like goes into the warp or the chaos and stuff. That makes sense. Catan are kids with a magnifying glass? That's crazy. The cancer was like a curse. It was ingrained in their DNA. Oh, I see.
And the Catan basically were just like to every single person
the
who
Minecraft
went in their
eating
furnaces.
noise.
If you were a peasant, you came out a Necron warrior, and you as an individual have ceased to be. You have no mind.
Oh no. I think it's just YouTube being weird. Man, why of all days did it have to be the day that I'm doing a react? Why couldn't it be literally any other day? Why did it have to be today?
You have no soul?
Nope, it's really borking out on me a little bit here. Gonna scrub it. We're gonna jork the video.
soul is a real tangible item of
okay,
oneself.
maybe that.
And the Catan,
see, this line is not moving
just
though.
Like to
this is
every
just
single
this
person.
is just like, you know what, chat? It's like we're back. We're back in the 2000s, just like we wanted, right? This is isn't this what we wished for? We wanted to go back to the 2000s, and now we're getting 2000s level internet, and we have dial-up, and you can't even take a phone call now because of this. So, you know, maybe that's what we're getting here. I did not wish for 2000s buffer. It's the monkey's paw, okay? It's just like Warhammer. You can't wish for it and then not ask for everything else part of it. You know what I mean? Just like how the Necron wished for immortality.
You were a peasant, you have no mind.
Nope.
And you as an individual have seen.
Nope. I don't know what to do, chat. 2045. I will try again.
Abstract concept like it is oneself. And the Catan basically were just like to every single person who went in their furnaces. If you were a peasant, you came out a Necron warrior, and you as an individual have ceased to be. You have no mind, you have no soul, and your body, as you know it, is made of an extremely advanced mass of re-knitting living metal.
Okay, it's working now after I refreshed it. I'm not using ad block. I just want to say that I'm not using ad block, so it's not that. I don't think it's my Wi-Fi. It sounds like there might be a problem on YouTube side about this. And so, unfortunately, we're doing what we can. I can download the video. Actually, give me a second. Let me do that for the other one so that we have it up. Are you on Chrome? I am on Chrome.
This video is part.
Wow. Okay, wait. Let me download this, and then maybe we can watch this one offline, because maybe that'll help. And then I'll download this one too. I'm just gonna give it a second to download. You can download it. It'll probably skip most of the issues. We're praying. Everyone, pray to the Omnisaya. Okay. Jork your Ethernet cables, slather yourself in machine oil, and you know. Yeah, I don't know. What else do you do? Light a candle, burn some incense. It's downloading, so I'm just gonna give it a little bit of time. Sometimes I've had success switching to a lower or higher resolution for the video, and sometimes use a VPN to make sure YouTube's working smoothly. It sounds like it might be a YouTube issue in general, so I don't know if like the normal fixes are gonna fix it. So I'm going to just give it a little bit to download, because I'm downloading this one and I'm downloading the other one. So I apologize for the hiccups. I'm really sorry. I don't know why this is happening. It sounds like maybe there's just like something. Maybe it's the storms, you guys. Maybe the ice is like freezing over the internet pipelines. Add megalithny of ignition. The soul of the machine god surrounds thee. The power of the machine god invests thee. The hate of the machine god drives thee. The machine god endows thee with life. Live. Really cool. I really like a lot of the Warhammer like writing. Is actually very, very good. This is a favorite hymn of my mother. Beep boop bop beep beep boop bop beep. Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. That was beautiful. I feel touched. That reminds me of that girl Kaguya in Sengoku Rants. Beep boop.
As necrodermis, you cannot think for yourself, for you do not have a brain to think with. All you don't have a brain now is await protocols from your overlords.
Wait, that's just like me. I don't have a brain either.
Which are the nobles who came out of the furnaces with their minds intact. Not their souls, mind you, but their minds are very much intact. These nobles now have command protocols, and they are able to command all of their peasantry and do—
Wait, so like the peasants got fucked and all the nobles are just like, yeah, I guess I don't have a soul, but their minds are still there and they're still generally operating like normal. What the fuck? That's rough. That's rough.
Do with them whatever they wish. Zarek, the Silent King, is the most advanced of all the Necrons, a perfect metallic version of himself with incredible power and intelligence. His strength allowed him to lead the undead and the unthinking armies of the Necrons to battle against the Catan when they were at their weakest due to their incessant infighting, and then win back their freedom. But gods cannot die. So in reality, what occurred is the Catan were shattered into thousands of pieces, and each shard of their god was trapped in a stasis vault. And
wait, okay, so I think I need to rewatch that again. I think I didn't internalize that very well.
Metallic version of himself,
the Catan guard part.
Incredible power and intelligence. His strength allowed him to lead the undead and the unthinking armies of the Necrons to battle against the Catan when they were at their weakest due to their incessant infighting, and then win back their freedom. But gods cannot die.
Oh, so right, because all the Catans are gods. Okay, right.
Into thousands of pieces, and each shard of their god was trapped in a stasis vault and mind controlled to—
This is like all my shonen manga. This is like all my shonen manga. We're gonna shatter it into a billion pieces, and some fucking guy is gonna go out and get all those pieces. Mind break? Wait, I like mind break. Chat, I like mind break. Wait, what about mind break? I'm paying attention. Oh, they mind broke the Catans and they're controlling them now. Oh my god. I'm into that.
To do the bidding of the Necrons they once enslaved. The biggest challenge they face now are actually the upstarts of the galaxy. The Eldar and the Orcs were quite prominent, and as you can imagine, a galactic war really takes its toll on the joints, or I guess the servos. It was in their best interest to wait out the galactic rise of the other races and come back at a more opportune time. So,
do they have a happy ending? Every mind break ends with happy ending, chat. Every mind break ends with a happy ending. That's like the quintessential conclusion of mind break. So Catan also maybe a happy ending for them as well, you know, who knows. So this is when they bury themselves underground, right?
They went into stasis via these massive tomb complexes hidden beneath various worlds, biding their time until it was once again their opportunity to rule the galaxy. Zarek—
So they felt like the Eldar and all those people were like too strong? Is that why they went into stasis? Like they were like, oh, the situation's a little complicated right now. Time to go honk shoo mimi until people kind of calm down a little bit. Too much of a hassle. Not worth fighting. So they were like hoping that they would get weaker over time? Is that kind of what it is? Eldar were pretty fire back in the day. Eldar had their gods fighting for them. They were right. Oh, know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Gotcha.
The Silent King, as
or die
penance
out.
for his
I
failure
see.
to his people, exiled himself into the darkness between stars for the next 60 million years, with his
60 million
memory a constant reminder of the doom he inflicted upon his people. Flash forward to the modern day, and the Necrons are reawakening, but it isn't working as well as it could be. Whether the tomb world is reawakened naturally or by some imperial moron stepping on a green glowing rock, the Necrons have come back to reclaim a galaxy they consider rightly theirs. But 60 million years of hypersleep have taken their toll. Many Necron dynasties awake with systems unrestored and huge swaths of their population's minds completely lost. Necron nobles wake with various mental faculties compromised, sometimes exhibiting traits similar to excessive paranoia, schizophrenia, or even dementia. One notable Necron, Nemesaur Zandrek, believes that he is still back on his home planet fighting off separatists and interlopers. See, Oberyn, the separatists come, attempting to outflank me as they did at the 4th Battle of Vindach. How they calculate that daubing themselves green and roaring like savages will produce a different outcome, I cannot fathom. But it is of no account. Ready, my legions. Another glorious victory shall soon be ours.
Wait, so all of them just have dementia? They all just got early onset dementia. Limina may experience me. Bro, I swear to God, I am experiencing early onset dementia. I'm not even joking. I can't remember jack shit anymore. Just that guy. Some of them. I wouldn't call millions of years early onset. I mean, they're mortal, right? So I guess it's early onset for them.
Other individuals, such as the esteemed Imhotep the Stormlord, seek to usurp the newly returned Silent King for rightful ruler over the Necron race, believing
just him and you. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey.
His time has come to an end, while scientists and archaeologists like Trazen the Infinite and Orikin the Diviner spend thousands of years bickering over artifacts and petty squabbles.
You can choose dementia or crippling existential dread. Well, I already have the latter, so can I opt out of the former one?
Truly, the Necrons are a faction of unthinkable, unimaginable power, held back entirely by their own
dementia
and 60 million years of stasis. It is a species that does not know of time, only of the ravages brought by it. A pharaoh of a dynasty may just be as frightened to awake completely mad as they are to be assassinated while they sleep. Thousands of years pass in an instant. There is a play, like an opera.
Oh my God!
A retelling.
Oh my, wait, I know that. I know that. Wait, chat. Wow, do I have it? We should. It would be really funny if we. Ah, fuck. I can't do comedic timing right now because I actually don't think I have the videos separated. It's that meme in your video. Yeah. You guys, it's the meme in my video. How old is Harry Potter puppet? Don't ask that. Don't ask a question that you don't want the answer to. Don't ask a question you don't want the answer to. Ooh. I was gonna see if I could grab it, but I don't think I have it. Wait, let me see. Do you? It was 20 years ago! 20 years? No, don't say that, chat. It was like 10 years ago, right? March 24th, 2007. I don't like that. I don't like that answer, chat. No, I don't like, no. You guys, it was just like 10 years ago, right? Don't look at how old the PS3 is. No, I don't. PS3 was pretty new, wasn't it? You can't deny reality forever. 2020 is half a decade. You can't say it like that. That's about phrasing. I think that's just a phrasing thing, right? No, PS3 is not retro. Is PS3 okay? Genuinely, chat, is the PS3 considered retro? Surely not. Surely not. It's not retro. It's like old, sure, but it's not like retro. Yes, it is. It's retro. Anything past 20. The PS3 is not past 20, is it? Is the PS3 past 20? PS2 retro? Okay, sure. Like, I don't like to admit it, but sure. 2006? Oh. Is this the mind break you were talking about? Where's the happy ending? Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. Anyway, if you guys want to see my rendition of Harry Potter Puppet Pals, you can check out my video on my video tab It's my Y2K meme compilation, and you can see a bunch of me and the girls doing this. It was quite fun.
Of the war in heaven in the Necron culture that takes 40 years to witness because why leave? You have no need to eat or vacate your bowels. You are immortal, but you are soulless.
Yeah, I would love to live in a world where I don't have to eat or vacate my bowels. I think that sounds excellent. Sign me up.
The Necrons' incredible technology, their mastery over time, reality itself, despite all of this, they still are missing a soul. And therein lies the biggest struggle. Most Necrons look to conquest the galaxy, kill the interlopers like the humans, Eldar, and orcs that scrape at a fraction of their power. But the end goal for many, including Zarek himself, is to return the souls to their bodies, to undo the horrible fate he cast upon them.
Is that possible? Because didn't the Catan eat their souls? It's not like the Eldar where like their souls are being held captive somewhere. Didn't they like actually like consume them, like nom nom, and then like maybe he digested it and they pooped it out, so now it's like you can't. It's basically impossible. Only one way to find out. I guess so. I guess so.
This is not the interest of all. Many simply wish to rule their dynasty with an iron fist and kill all they consider unworthy. But to many others, it is to undo the decision that doomed them all. Before they can do that, there is a pest that needs exterminating. That is the fundamental understanding of the Necrons. They are so hyper advanced that their science borders on magic. They play with the fundamental aspects of reality and time. Their mastery of the physical galaxy is the strongest in the universe. Their weapons reduce people to the barest molecules, and they have devices capable of causing stars to supernova. They are unfathomably difficult to kill, as if you do fell one of their number, the living metal reknits itself and the reanimation protocols allow it to come back alive once again.
Cool.
They're masters of teleportation, and often killing a Necron fully will just have its consciousness translocated back to their tomb world to await reassembly. Normally they utilize large phalanxes of warriors and honorary combats, but some of them have fallen to various mind viruses. The destroyer cults.
Not mind viruses. I don't like that. That sounds especially threatening to someone who is of robotic nature like me.
Are hell-bent on killing anything and everyone that lives with an overwhelming force. And then there's the flayed ones. Necrons cursed with I have no mouth and I must scream, a panic attack virus, as the last laugh of Landogo, the Flayer Catan. Slowly losing their minds, they strip apart their foes and adorn their bodies with the skin of their enemies, trying to better return to their old feelings of flesh and blood. The Necrons are a
I don't like that. I don't like that. So that's like if you have a particular strain of Necron schizophrenia, you start like wearing the skin of your enemies. Cosplaying as the living.
Graded version of their mighty empire, and still one of the biggest threats in the galaxy. The only thing keeping them at bay currently is their awakening sickness and their infighting with no care to the timeline. But they are coming.
Is the infighting also caused by schizophrenia, or is it like a political thing? I'm assuming not, because they don't, most of them don't have thought, I guess. Oh, pride, a little bit of both. Okay, all of the above. Gotcha. They just hate each other. Okay. There are a lot of nobles. Oh, okay. It's not like a 1% of society. I was imagining nobles were like a 1% of the society. I guess it's like more than 1% of the society. Okay.
And slowly, they plan to rid this galaxy of the vermin that inhabit it. My people shackled the stars and broke mortality when the species you sprang from had barely left the slime pools it spawned in. Our wars burned reality, and the dominion of our kings is without limit. The ground you tread on is not yours, it is ours. The war in heaven was a catastrophic time for the galaxy, and as stated in the above quote, burned reality. Of course, souls exist in Warhammer, and in the case of the Necron tier, they were consumed by the star gods. This begs the question, however, if you were to pass on, expire, as one might put it, where would your soul go? The answer to this is the warp. In Warhammer, a soul is real. And so is hell, the afterlife, the Empyrean, the Sea of Souls, the Immaterium. All of these names refer to the dimension parallel to our own known as the warp. Now, the warp is not like our reality. It does not follow the classic normalcy of time and space. It is defined as the Sea of Souls, and it acts like this in a more literal way than you can realize. To imagine the warp is to imagine the sea itself. Hell is real, and you can surf on it. It has a current and can become more dangerous depending on where you go and how bad the weather is. As the Immaterium is a reflection of our reality and of our souls, all thoughts, all emotions, all feeling that goes with a soul is passed on into the warp. If an entire planet decides it's going to engage in a blood-fueled rampage of murder and gore, then the warp around that planet will be affected in a similar manner. It's not something that you can see. It is a parallel, not perpendicular dimension, but it is changing. To expose oneself to the warp for any period of time invites certain death outside of the most iron-willed of individuals, and to stare into it will drive one mad. Much like the open seas, things dwell in the warp. Whether these beings were always there and were just emboldened by the carnage of the galaxy, we can only speculate at. At a time, you could say it was more calm, but a certain faction's galactic war in heaven didn't do it any favors. Now the warp is turbulent, and it's
so it's like, let me know if I'm grasping this correctly. If you die and say you were like actually a good person, or if you were a bad person, it doesn't matter. All souls go to the warp, right? But like if you were around a lot of people who were bad, the warp that you go to might just be a little shittier. Is that a correct understanding of how it works? Or is it more like it's not like you're not like going anywhere, more or less? Okay. And then that warp, because it's parallel, is like if I'm in California and I die and my soul goes to the warp, it goes to like the Californian warp. So technically it's in the same space. So if someone were to rip a space-time continuum hole in California, my warp would technically be on the other side. I think that's a worse fate than the warp. Yup, okay. If you have a strong faith in something, your soul might go to said something instead of just somewhere in the warp, though. I see. That sounds like average California behavior. True. Okay. I think I'm generally understanding it.
Realms belong to a pantheon of gods known simply as The forces of chaos are beings that serve directly under their patron deity. There are 4 current gods of chaos at the moment: Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, and Slaanesh. Each of them represent various facets of and emotions of sentient species and play a great game against one another for total control over their realms.
Honestly, I like the Chaos God. I think they might be like my favorite part of Warhammer. I like the Chaos Gods a lot. And I like the whole thing about Slaanesh, like how he was formed. I think that's just like, or how it was formed. I think it's like just a very cool, fun bit of lore, honestly.
Interestingly enough, while their disciples have physical forms we can understand, the Chaos Gods do not have a physical visual that you can perceive in reality. So while there are tons of fantastic fan art, we do not know what they truly look like, though they are conveniently color-coded. Khorne—
Oh, wait. So none of the images of those gods were from Games Workshop. There are no official artworks of them. It's all fan art. Nope. Oh, because they're more like a concept than they are a being, I guess. Is that how that works? Oh, all fan art. Oh.
Is the god of blood and murder, carnage and slaughter. He is the one who is most powered by the wholesale killing of any living thing. For Khorne cares not from where the blood flows. With a sacred number of 8, he is the lord of all things involving killing and blood and gore. The champions are extremely strong as well, with monumental muscles and extremely large weapons.
Boring.
A true analog to Khorne would be his greater demon, the Bloodthirster. An enormous muscle-bound flying devil with an axe so large it splits tanks in a
This guy's cool though. I like this guy.
Single swing. They move into battle with
He's
armor
cute.
of brass
He's a puppy.
adorned by the skulls of their foes and pools of freshly spilt blood. This
That guy's just a puppy though.
may appear to be quite frightening, of course, demonic, one might say. But in the world of chaos, all emotions feed one of these gods in one way or another. If you were to define Khorne with single words, you would use blood, carnage, murder, skulls. But you'd be missing out on important ones like strength, honor, prowess, courage, and skill. Khorne is not just about the wholesale slaughter of people. He is about the honor and power of martial combat. The true strength there is in besting someone in physical strength and skill. Of course,
is this like Dune Sandworm Shin Megami Tensei penis monster guy? Is his eyes just another row of teeth? In his eye hole, is it just more teeth?
a murderer would be someone who would feed Khorne, but a soldier could feed Khorne. A martial artist,
it's funny to say feed Khorne,
or professional fighter could feed Khorne. A warrior, good or bad, feeds Khorne. A diplomat does not. A premier soldier does. A GoFundMe does not.
A GoFundMe does not. No.
Of Khorne. For he will bless those that bring him enough skulls. And in a world this destructive, there are many ways to reap a high tally for him. Prepare the dread claws and unchain the mad ones. Glorious battle awaits us today, for the world below has refused to surrender. Let us descend upon them with fury and rage, giving no quarter and sparing only those warriors who fight well enough to earn a place amongst us. As to the rest, their lives and possessions are ours, but their skulls are for Khorne.
Oh, this is the skulls for the Skull King, corn for the Cornflake King, milk for the cornflakes, blood for the blood god. There we go. Skulls for the skull throne. Okay, not the skull god. Skull throne. Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. Gotcha. Milk for the cornflakes. Also corn for the cornflakes. Corn for the country girls.
If I ever want to explain Khorne, I just kind of show him this clip.
I'd never stab you in the back, Shepard. Warriors like you and me, straight to the face.
Moving on,
What was that from? Was that also from a Warhammer game, or was that from like a different game? Oh, it's from Mass Effect. I was gonna say it does look like Mass Effect.
Each is the second god, the god of trickery and mischief, the changer of ways, the great conspirator and the architect of fate. With a sacred number of 9, Tzeentch is truly the god of change in all of its forms. But there...
Oh my god, the frickin' Tzeentch is Tamussy, man. Tzeentch is Tamussy, just every time.
Is an obvious undercurrent of mischief and cunning. Tzeentch is such a liar that his pants...
Did you just say Tzeentch is Cherno? Did you guys know Cherno was... The Cherno's perfect math class was in my dream last night, actually. Both are blue and both have the sacred number of 9, and both are liars. You might be onto something. You might be onto something. Baka.
have gone thermonuclear.
Where the
His favorite pastime is asking questions that have no answers while simultaneously making up answers on the spot to a question he didn't ask.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
I've never seen that clip before in my life. That's literally me in every stream trying to talk about anything. That's literally actually me. Real footage of me. I've never seen that meme. No, I haven't. It's a classic. It looks like a classic. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. I was sent... I have been sent the... We could take a little ad break. See, I was doing that the thing the kid was doing again. I haven't seen that one. No, I haven't. That one's from our time. I got the file, but it's downloading. You have to give it a second. We'll take a quick ad break, which is the ad being something that I made. Not an actual ad. Fake hag. Real. Okay, here you go. Hope it doesn't blast your ears.
Logs. The dual logs. The dual logs. 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 Logs.
Liminal Alteri. Yeah. Liminal Alteri. That's me. Actually, just my last 5 brain cells. Real. After I made that was stuck in my head for like freaking 10 centuries. One of these is not like the other. Are you sure about that? Okay, back to the
conniving little bastard that every emotion of lying, of scheming, of trickery is a direct way to help feed him. An unfaithful partner, a politician, a spy. All these people feed Tzeentch in one way or another, and it doesn't matter if the intentions are good. Acceptance does not feed Tzeentch. Change does. Tzeentch doesn't care about your...
Wait, I like the little noise on his head. He's got a little noise. From like rants, little Noi guys. He's got them on his head. They're so cute. Look at them little eyes.
Facts. He only wants opinions. Because he represents change, he also represents
oh my god.
Hope, though.
What the hell?
Schemes are not always bad. And even the hope to make a better tomorrow is the change he seeks. Because he is the architect of fate and the mastery of sorcery, his presence is purely unknowable. Every depiction of a Tzeentchian demon contains more eyes than are necessary and more mouths than I know what to do with. It is a biblically accurate angel if the angel gaslit you into thinking birds are government drones.
True, they are though.
But are they? The creatures at his disposal adorn themselves with the knowledge of sorceries and the unknown, all to provide a mind-crushing experience. Fighting demons from outside of our reality is difficult enough, but fighting demons from unreality, purposely attempting to trick you, is a whole new thing entirely. And that is before we even get started on the gigantic bird of sorcery you're going to need to face.
That guy's really cool. I like him. I wish he had clothes though. I don't like that he's like naked.
Do not ask which creature screams in the night. Do not question who waits for you in the shadow. It is my cry that wakes you in the night, and my body that crouches in the shadow. I am Tzeentch, and you are the puppet that dances to my tune. Third of the Chaos Gods is the one of acceptance of rot and pestilence, the grandfather himself. Papa Nurgle.
Papa
Nurgle is the
Nurgle.
exact opposite of Tzeentch. Where Tzeentch believes in change and hope for a future, Nurgle believes in stagnation and the end of everything. At one point or another, we will all decay. We will all
I don't like
rot,
this one.
and we will all end.
Wait, bring me back the cute Nurgle. I don't like these Nurgles. This one's so gross. I don't like that
And with
one.
a sacred number of 7, every single thing, pestilence, boil, and everything in between, comes under the great shadow and girth of Nurgle himself.
Patron saint
For
of
Nurgle,
VTubers.
the plight of mortals is his
Does he have titties? Is this Nurgle with titties?
fear and wine. And no matter how solid life might be, everything will decay in the end. In the creation of life, there must be an end to that life. And nobody has more creations to end lives than Grandfather Nurgle himself. Every boil, every blemish, every pus-filled wound and disease,
I don't like that.
rot,
I don't like
and every
that.
plague is kept and concocted by Nurgle. This humorously keeps Nurgle as a jovial god. He is full of life and laughter.
Why are his moobies shaking like that? Who made this?
And by creating as many diseases as he possibly can, he shares that joy with mortals. I mean, his envoy is the great unclean one. And look at how happy he is.
Oh, this is the great unclean one. This isn't Nurgle. I don't like how unclean he is.
And there's a lot of him to love. A fear of death in general is feeding Nurgle. All
Gross.
disease makes him stronger, but to pray for salvation for a wounded loved one is to feed Nurgle. The timeless and inevitable fear that one day you will rot and decay is what gives him strengths. The Peloton won't feed Nurgle. Licking the doorknob on a public bathroom certainly does.
What the fuck? Who does that? Do people do that? They lick door handles in public bath. Why would you do that? That sounds really terrible. No. Paint on that as well. Yeah, this is crazy. This looks like, it doesn't even look like a miniature. This looks 2D. It's really good.
However, should you embrace your grandfather's gifts, you may find an end to your pain. Maybe. All mortal followers of the Chaos Gods found themselves there in one way or another, either through the direct worship or the slow corrupting of their souls. But those that take Nurgle's gifts and embrace the decay of their bodies may end up being chosen among his few as a faithful servant.
Okay, but what about the Nurglussi? Would you? This looks pretty like, I'm just saying, it looks pretty vaginal. This is like I'm just saying, imagine the smell. STDs. What that tongue doing though? That's what I'm saying. That's what any hole is, a goal. With Nurgle always. Nurgle is the god of life. I will not put that my PP in that. Are you sure? You sure about that? You sure you want to close that door so quickly?
In doing so, you will be free of the pain caused by Nurgle's ailments, and you may even find yourself just as jovial and happy as he is. Maybe. His enemies shall wither and die. His allies shall wither and die. The universe and all within it shall wither and die. And when the great corruption has settled over the land and permeated the very foundations of reality itself, then shall the Lord of all rise from the rot and ruin, spread his arms wide to reclaim all of his dutiful children. Those were the 3 major chaos gods for a very long time, emboldened by war and death on a galactic scale, ever present but now fact on the suffering of a galaxy.
Oh, my favorite part is happening.
Was able to elude the pull of chaos, an advanced race of psychically attuned aliens whose
Wait. If you become an Eldar, can you do this? Dude, maybe we should all be Eldar.
Over the physical world was so strong that chaos could not glean from them the morsels of power they once had, or so they couldn't, not for a long while. 60 million years ago, in an attempt to combat the Necrons in Catan, the old ones made a new species.
The yellow heads, they look like in JoJo, the bullet guys. Ah, frick. I don't remember the guy whose stand is the little bullets, but that's what it reminds me of.
With innate power in the warp and the ability to harness it with a mastery that was unseen by so many others. A mastery so powerful, the Necrons retreated to sleep.
Oh, Sex Pistols, right. Yeah.
It was no longer a galaxy to be ruled by them, but instead begin the age of the
Eldar.
The Eldar are a race of pointed-eared humanoids that are all psychically attuned to the warp. If we're being meta here, these are space elves, and these elves ruled the galaxy in the time the Necrons went to sleep and humanity began to rise. The Eldar's empire was galaxy-wide and lasted for longer than any other galactic power that we know of. Their understanding of all things was exceptional. With every single one of them being psychers, they had the ability to master the warp and use it to their advantage. See, being a psyker is basically like being a wizard, or I guess in this case it's more of a sorcerer, since you are born with the gifts as opposed to learning them. In order to utilize your psychic abilities, however, you must then reach into the other dimension, into the warp, into hell for that power. So if you were to say, cast Fireball, your mind would reach into the warp, gather the strength to rewrite reality, to then cast Fireball. Now, you might think to yourself, doesn't that mean if you are opening up a power to the warp, you may create a lot of risk to yourself because of all the horrible things we just talked about in the warp? Yes. However, in Warhammer 40k, willpower is a real, tangible thing, in the sense that in its own right, it can be weaponized. Being strong of will means being strong of soul, and being strong of soul means you can resist the pull of the warp that much more. A more inexperienced psyker opens up a hole into the warp that is large, and that—
What game is this one? What game is this one? They're literally putting on their wizarding robe and hat. This one's Dark Tide. Oh.
Hole widens to get more power, allowing evil things to get in. A powerful psyker is able to open
Left 4 Dead,
a very
but
small
Warhammer.
hole,
Gotcha.
but with immense force to get the same amount of power with less risk. The Eldar are master psychers. Every single one of them can call upon the warp, and over millions of years they have perfected it so much so that they can weave structures out of it. In some species in the galaxy,
Mina, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, raiders. We are so back. Everyone go check out Mita Osita, my beloved. She's like my basically IRL little sister. So I would really appreciate if everyone could go check her out. She's very sweet, very cute. But she is a Zoomer. Well, fair warning. Fair warning. She is a Zoomer. And she loves emote. I do love emotos. I have one in real life, but I try to ignore that. My emoto is, she's taller than me, so it doesn't really feel like, I want like a cute, you know. Also, she's loud, but that comes with being a Zoomer. Wait, let me mod you. Derogatory. Wait, you sound familiar. Wow, crazy, right? Crazy. But yeah, thank you so much for the raid, Mita. I hope you guys had a good stream. We are today watching some Warhammer content. Who is the handsome man on— Mita, I need you to stop. I need you to stop. I need you to go away right now. Mita, I need you to go away right now. Mita. My God. Anyway, we're watching Warhammer lore. Welcome in.
They utilize the warp itself for interstellar travel. The Eldar ain't having any of that noise. How about we utilize a fancy alternative mode of travel that is substantially safer than the old ones created, called the Webway? What about dying? Miss me with that. We no longer age. And if we do, we can just be reborn like that. Food?
Wait, Eldar don't age and they can be reborn? So are they technically immortal or no? Or oh, I guess this was before Slaanesh? They used to be, right. So this is before they... Yeah, gotcha.
Water, materials, we make things out of distilled warp essence itself. We sing unreality into cathedrals to dine in. What truly could the Eldari Empire possibly fear?
Well, I need someone to make this kind of edit for me. I love when they do these kind of edits.
The Eldari Empire's biggest fear was themselves, with a society so perfect they wanted for naught, and this led them down dark and dangerous paths. When the base functions of society are no longer a problem for you, you tend to experiment. Perhaps the medium rare steak on your plate would be better if it was elf meat. Hey, I'm not saying we should make cannibalism legal.
I thought he was gonna say something else. I thought he... You guys, my mind is just too... Am I a problem? Do I have my mind too much in the gutter, you guys? To be honest. Be honest. I really thought he was gonna say something completely else. I was like, oh, right, haha, right, cannibalism. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking too. Nah, it's the Eldar, it'll get there. I mean... Nah, you're perfect. Don't feed my ego, chat. Don't feed my ego. I'm gonna become evil.
Ego, but like, what's the issue with a little taste? Violent sports is one thing, but how come we don't do sports to the death? I mean, I'm just saying, like, if both participants are willing and clear about it, like, what really is the problem there, you know?
Right, like consent. Right, we stand consent. So as long as there's consent, like who are we to tell them no? You know, I stand with that. I stand with that.
Art is in the eye of the viewer, and what is considered art is completely up to the concept of one's own interest. A canvas adorned with the blood of a man wronged is truly the visual poetry that our society needs. Hedonism. With a slow and consistent hedonism, the Eldar slid backwards into debauchery of the sort I cannot discuss on this YouTube video. Murder on stage, delicacies, and drugs distilled from—
What is this edit? What is this edit? Ghosty-chan, thank you so much for the gift and memberships. Be sure to thank Ghosty-chan if you receive one. Thank you.
One another, the trade of slaves and concubines, and much worse. The Eldar physiology has their emotions heightened, and they can feel more than a human does. So while
ooh, it's like baked in aphrodisiac.
Can provide lows of pure despair, it can also provide greater highs than you have ever known. And swinging between the two of them was the Eldar game. The warp took notice of this heavily, and it began to react. On a galactic scale, the debauchery and the hedonism of the Eldar race caused levels of warp storm so pronounced and so volatile that it cut off interstellar travel for all those who used it. Communications between planets was removed, and a nightmarish era of old night began. This continued for thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years. The Eldar, all but removed from the problems being caused as they entered heights of more and more ecstasy. They needed more and more and more. Nothing was ever enough. More murder, more torture. It's art, it's delicacies, it's life. This silence offends Slaanesh. Wait,
who? That other chaos guy that conveniently
Slaanesh,
didn't mention.
The prince of pleasure, she who thirsts, the god of unspeakable excess, is our—
Wait, is her boob smoking? What, one of her many boobs? Is one of the boobs smoking? That's actually incredible.
Our fourth Chaos God, with the sacred number of 6 adorning their title. Slaanesh is a bit of a tricky one, because with our other 3 Chaos Gods, there was a certain understanding of human emotions and desires. But for Slaanesh, that desire is how they get their power. The words to be used would be decadence, pleasure, perfection, passion, excess, and many others. The pursuit of more. The
crab hand is really, it's really throwing me off here.
Want to do more, experience more, become more. That's what gives Slaanesh their gifts. A lot of people believe that Slaanesh is something that originates with sex, specifically, and it makes sense why they assume that. The visuals of Slaanesh patrons are all very lithe and sexual, but they are also intentionally androgynous to appear attractive to a variety of intrigues.
What the fuck was that? What was that?
However, to think that Slaanesh specifically derives from sex would be mistaken. While it is true that a lot
the myth of consensual sex, I consent, do tricks on it, that's crazy.
Of humanity's actions can relate to getting laid, and Slaanesh is the dark prince of desire. It's more on the lines of feeling an excess of an emotion. It is excessive touch and scent and desire, and a lot of that has to do with sex. That's why it looks like sex, but it's more than just that. A patron of the arts may
no, not the freaking pop, not the pop figures in the, why is there so many? This truly is excess. This is actually, you're right, this is excess.
Feeds Slaanesh, one that aspires to become
the Funko Pops are Slaanesh scheme. That's even too far for Slaanesh. Oh no.
Perfect chef or master of their craft, and the sheer pursuit of that alone will feed Slaanesh. Whiplash is Slaanesh's absolute favorite film. Videos where people beat Elden Ring on a dance pad feed Slaanesh.
There are no 2 words in the English language more harmful than good job.
What?
But is there a line?
No, man, no.
This also moves into the concept of feeling. Sensation is a majorly Slaanesh-coded thing. It might start off feeling good, but then you get to play around a little bit, you know? You play with a little bit of pain. Light pain might not be enough, so you might want more. Or inflicting the pain could be your jam. Music can increase to volumes that may hurt your ears, and even then that might not be enough.
What is this? Ouch my ears, ouch my ears, ouch my ears.
You must have more. Many of the disciples of Slaanesh carry a demonic form in their lithe grace. The keeper of secrets is his chosen envoy, and their movements are a blur of dance and pain with an aura all the more fatal. They dance and sing, but there's always a form of malice behind every action they take. An alluring gaze that will pull you in right before the demonic entity can crush you in that grip. Slaanesh's palace has 6 layers surrounding it, and one of them is the excess of gluttony, where the participant finds themselves in a beautiful banquet full of the most delicious foods imaginable. Tables of delicacies and rivers of wine tempt the user to such a degree that they cannot stop stuffing.
Tags. What does it say? I can't read that, chat.
Their face, unaware that the things they are eating are very vaguely familiar meat. If one does not see themselves drowning in the river of wine, they may soon fill their bodies up so much that they cease to function and fall over, becoming part of the banquet themselves. That is one of these 6 layers of Slaanesh's palace. This was the ecstasy that the Eldar civilization indulged in for millennia, and did so at a monumental scale that they created a god from it. Find pleasure in every moment, indulge in every whim, let lesser races feel the burden of their crude lives. We are beyond such concerns or worries. Every power is ours to use, every sensation ours to experience. We are truly masters of the galaxy, and all others exist only to satisfy our curiosities. We have earned our position of power. Let us forever taste the fruits of such achievement. Time itself is ours to command. We are eternal.
The what? Okay. I mean, oh. I mean, they did goon too close to the sun. They did, and they did make a cum Satan. That is actually, yeah. I hate when that happens. That's crazy.
With the birth of Slaanesh, the Eldari Empire ceased to be. A catastrophic event so horrible that the warp ripped a hole permanently in our reality, a fissure forever known as the Eye of Terror. With the sudden inhalation of this god's largest breath, the Eldari souls are a currency to be now collected by she who thirsts. Trillions of Eldar died in an instant, Slaanesh gorging on their souls to satisfy his palate. 99.9% of their entire species died, and the
why does this guy look like he got like meat abs? He's got like raw steak abs.
rest are doomed to a fate worse than death. For Slaanesh now stakes a claim on each and every Eldar soul. From the moment they pass on, an eternity of torment awaits them. The remaining Eldar devote their entire lives to stopping this eventuality, their dying race so devoted to saving themselves from the Dark Prince. And, in doing so,
is Slaanesh the Dark Prince?
Have found very creative ways. In the modern world of Warhammer, the craft world Eldar are the main force of Eldar in the galaxy and represent the elf style that many think of when you think elves in space. Fantasy elves in space, not those elves. We'll get to them. A craft world is a monumentally large starship, the size of a continent, that acts as a form of flotilla. During the highest reaches of hedonism, many Eldar saw the demonic writing on the wall and began to try and seek asylum from their own debauchery. Those Eldar left on monumental craft worlds into the far reaches of the galaxy and saved themselves from Slaanesh's awakening. The main thing the craft world Eldar seek is to temper their minds and bodies in a way that will never allow them to slide back into their old ways. The representation they carry is that of a more feudal Japanese motif. Eldar follow paths as they age, the path of the warrior, the seer, the poet, the diplomat, the bone singer, and so on. These paths are a strict code of conduct to hone the heightened Eldar psychology down a school of thought and action. And if it sounds a hell of a lot like Bushido, well, you're damn right. Here's a medal and a soul stone. Don't lose it or an eternity of torment awaits you. Going through these paths will allow you to take up not just a role in Eldar society, but keep your mind clear from the past worries that plagued them. Every Eldar is said to be a psyker, however, very few of them actually utilize their psychic powers for fear of tempting she who thirsts. A large amount of emphasis is also put on ancestors of the Eldar and learning from them the farther you go down a path. This can sometimes be seen by the large variety of jewels adoring the armor of Eldar. Those are called soul stones, the biggest middle finger to Slaanesh they can think of. See, when an Eldar dies, these stones act as a backup, and instead of their souls going to Slaanesh, they are then trapped and stored in this little stone. So when the Eldar say they commune with their ancestors, they mean so very literally, as the spirit and soul of generations before.
Are they pondering the orb?
Them are stored here. Often larger structures may contain vast amounts of soul stones, such as the Infinity Circuit in the craft world itself, allowing the souls of the dead to help power their enormous starship. The young do not desire the discipline of the path, but rather their curiosity drives them to try every fruit from the tree. Thus, it is that so many take the path of wandering or the path of damnation in their first years of adulthood. And so, The great tragedy of our kind is played out again and again as the number of our people shrink from generation to generation. These
Eldar
paths, when completed,
Pokeballs.
allow an Eldar to move to the next one, then the next one. However, since this is the grim darkness of the world, many of these paths rely on combat. The Eldar actually had gods at one point. Cain, Vol, Isha, Azaryan, and
What is the jar? Why is there a suspicious jar there? Why is there a jar? Oh, Isha is trapped by Nurgle. It's Nurgle's jar. What's he doing to the jar? Isha is Nurgle's jar wife? I don't like that. I know that I have a preconceived notion of what happens when something is trapped in a jar, but
so on. These gods are aspects of the Eldar pantheon, and while many were killed in Slaaneish's creation, their teachings live on. For some, the strongest devotion to the Eldar gods is to join the Aspect Warriors and embody the wrath of Cain, their god of war. While guardians of the Eldar craft worlds are more akin to a trained militia, the Aspect Warriors embody a particular variant of the path. Each are led by a Phoenix Lord, a name passed down through generations and embodying the souls of prior Phoenix Lords with each new one. The Howling Banshees, led by Jane Zar, Fugin and his Fire Dragons, Baharoth and his Swooping Hawks, or Malgan Ra and his Dark Reapers. Each aspect shrine carries with it the Eldar way of war. Fast, hard-hitting, and incredibly tricksy, for they do not have the numbers to fight in any other way. The Craftworld Eldar show how mangled an empire can be by their own actions. They once ruled the galaxy in an honest, non-hyperbolic way, but in the end, they were bested by themselves, and their most prominent remnants are forced to drift aimlessly through the galaxy, trying to save their species from extinction and resist the temptations of she who thirsts. But for some, the party, it's just beginning. Deep within the webway is the city of Kamara.
I was getting excited there.
This dark city once existed as a port in the webway that allowed for ease of transport for the Eldar between its various domains. The significance of this city meant that it needed to be a bit more of a neutral territory outside of the jurisdiction of general Eldar law, and therefore it was allowed to self-govern. This did not go well. The Dark City became the hideaway for all manner of sin. The Eldar race slipped into debauchery on a galactic scale that it birthed a god, and this was the city you went to when that wasn't enough for you. The convenience of being so deep within the webway was that it exists as a blind spot to the horrors of the warp. So while the rest of the Eldar fled the downfall of their species, Kamara kept partying. When Slaanesh was birthed, they were saved the worst of it, thanks to them being nice and neatly tucked away inside the webway. But only somewhat. The Dark Prince did not have a grip around their soul, but the tiniest pinky finger, and they were still pulling. But due to their excess hedonism, they found a solution to this problem. If they tormented others, they could temporarily rejuvenate their souls and continue to cheat their inevitable death by placating the Prince of Pleasure. And if they kept this up on the regular, they could effectively become immortal. Thus,
so like they kind of, when they are, if they kill other people, they can kind of elongate their lives with other people's souls? Am I understanding that correctly? Or is it more of like a, as long as they were anchored to their physical body, they're immediately absorbed? It's worse than killing. It's when they torture them. Oh. So they have to torture them. If they torture other people, they can stave off the Slaanesh suck. Not kill. They want to keep them alive. They're like Twitter users. Oh yes, thank you. That painted a perfect picture for me. Your way is much kinder. They torture everyone and everything. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. So oh, I understand. So they do that because it pleases Slaanesh, and Slaanesh kind of is like, all right, I guess you guys can keep doing what you're doing. Gotcha. I see. That makes sense.
The Drukhari were born. Unlike the more stoic elves you see in works of fiction, the Drukhari themselves exist as a sort of analog of the more grim and fiendish elves you find in Norse and European mythology. The Drukhari are soul vampires, but the more basic means to feed are hardly enough to keep them going. This desire to feed is known as the thirst, and to quench it effectively, they have mastered the art of biotechnology and dark sciences to really juice themselves up on the crispy soul sprite from the vending machine called the Galaxy. The majority of Drukhari act as pirates and raiders and slavers. They go into our physical reality and drag people back to Kamara to commit atrocities that go beyond any imaginative torture a human can think of. The Drukhari are organized in various groups throughout the Dark City to accomplish this in a more organized and extremely brutal way. The Cabals act as the main warriors of the city, led by their archons. Witches and succubi act as entertainment for Kamara in gladiatorial arenas, and the flesh-crafting homunculus keep the Drukhari alive and discover.
Ew, I don't like that. He's got like nipple piercings, but they're like not on his nipples, they're like on his breasts, and it's got like flaps of flesh hanging from them.
Ever increasingly more painful ways to torment their ever increasingly large supply of slaves they are brought. The Dark Eldar see the other inhabitants of the galaxy as little more than cattle, livestock that can be brought to bay or slaughtered at any time. Their fodder, however, is not meat and muscle, but the anguish and despair of the weak. The Dark Eldar do indeed drink blood, but also tears, and most sustaining of all, the raw essence of pain they wring out of their captives. The truth.
They're not the fun kind of succubi. What? There's an unfun kind of succubi? What's the unfun kind of succubi? I don't like flesh seatbelts. I don't like that.
The matter is that Drukhari sustain themselves on the suffering of others, not just morally, but physically. Kamara is a city rife with backstabbing schemes and murder. It is the worst back alleys of the worst ghettos at the best of times. Nothing is more horrifying to a Drukhari than death, for death will see them in the talons of Slaanesh for an eternity of torment. So they do everything they can to stop this. The homunculi covens regrow dead members from pieces of flesh as bargaining chips. The succubi create grisly gladiatorial spectacles that literally rejuvenate the audience members as captives are murdered for sport. To be captured by the Drukhari is one of, if not the worst fate imaginable in the world of Warhammer 40k. In a universe built on war crimes, they are the most debased war crimers of all time.
The war crimers.
To be tortured and sacrificed in the gladiatorial arenas is a blessing, for you have escaped the fate of being in the fleshsmith's control group, or being turned into a living and breathing piece of furniture for an Archon's quarters. In a cruel twist of fate, a newly born Drukhari does not arrive into this world loving torture. It is something they must grow to love. Grow to appreciate the suffering of other beings in order to survive in the world they have been brought into. If they succeed, they become some of the worst monsters in the known galaxy.
They are Canada's. Wait, why are they Canadians? Why are the Drukhari Canadians? The tea tables might scream. War crimes. Canadian war crime joke. Okay, I don't. Canada is known for inventing war crimes. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought Canadians were all really nice. I thought Canadians were like super nice, and they have Mounties. They have beavers and meese. Oh, in World War I. Oh.
Dark reflection to the craft worlders and a taste of what Eldar society was like before the fall. If they do not succeed, they must find purchase elsewhere. Often those will join smaller parts of Eldar society like the Exodites or the Harlequins. Exodites believe in a pre-industrial variant of their society.
Oh, the dinosaur riders. Oh, like this is cool. How come they don't have these as miniatures?
Often retreating to more lush worlds to ride dinosaurs and live off the land. Prehistoric style that I would normally laugh at if they weren't riding dinosaurs like ballers. The Harlequin
So
dancing
cool.
troupe are a subsect of Eldar that are more than just a little strange. A carnival of dancing jesters that serve the Eldar laughing god of Kegarak. They arrive never when expected and leave just as quickly. Blurs of light carry their footsteps as they dance their foes into a grave. Combat is just as much of a joke as it is a play on bloody murder. They travel and aid many other Eldar and sometimes even humanity for reasons we can never understand. Perhaps one day we would have, were they not stripped of their army book and folded into the Eldari Codex. So I suppose it'll have to stay a mystery, or maybe it was one of Kegarak's master plans to get back at she who thirsts and save their species.
Wait, what is the Codex? I think you guys have mentioned the Codex. Is it like they got retconned or something? I know you guys have mentioned things being retconned out. Is that what Codex is the rules? It's the rule book. The army rule book. Oh, I see. They don't have an army anymore? Wait, that's so sad. Imagine if you're like, if you played this class and then they wrote them out or something. I mean, I can kind of see why they might write these guys out, but you know.
Who could know? Perhaps it was all a sick and practical joke to Kegarak, and he would just find it very funny to watch me fumble the discussion of one human on a tiny blue planet across the galaxy. Oh, speaking of,
Imperium of Man.
Before the fall of the Eldar, Earth, or Terra as it's called, was in ruin. One man who looks to put the pieces back together. Where did he come from? We don't know. Some say he was the result of early shamans. Some say he is the final old one who escaped their species.
Did Bricky change his pants? He did. I was like, I thought he was wearing different pants. Sorry, that was kind of jarring for me.
Species genocide, and those that are smartest know the answer is it doesn't matter. He revealed himself as the Emperor of Mankind, and he was tasked with the most monumental upheaval of humanity possible. The Eldari's warp fluctuations had turned the golden age of humanity into old night.
You guys are so silly.
Travel cutoff? Check. An AI uprising? Check. Brand new psychers popping up and not knowing how to handle their powers? Oh, check. Demonic incursions? Check.
Wait, a man paid a wizard $500 to make him invisible, and then he tried to rob a bank, and then he ended up in jail. That's the most insane headline statement ever. Is it a Florida man thing? What is that? I've never seen that before.
Thousands of years this occurred, and now the Emperor of Mankind showed himself to put the pieces back together. Unifying Terra under his rule, the Emperor founded the Imperium of Man and ruled it with an iron fist. He was the supreme leader and nothing could stand against him. He wished to remove mankind from the yoke of its former failures, and he knew he would be the best leader they could have because he was right. AI banned, religion banned. You did as the Emperor told you, or his Thunder Warriors would put you in your place. That place often being a grave. Now, Terra was thriving, but humanity needed to reclaim its long-lost brethren scattered across the stars. But to do so, he needed those that could build him a fleet truly meant for the reconquering of the galaxy. And so he turned his attention to the red planet of Mars.
The Omniscience.
Mars and Terra were close allies long before the Unification Wars. Mars was the first world terraformed by humanity and became what would
Toaster
ultimately
frickers.
be the first hive world, an epicenter for industry and technology. The Age of Strife did not treat the Red Planet kindly, however. Mars was cut off from Terra during this time, and the warp storms that ravaged the planet turned it into an absolute nuclear hellscape. Those who were on the surface were turned into your run-of-the-mill mutant if they even survived the bombings they inflicted on themselves, but others were lucky enough to escape beneath the red sands in powerful fallout shelters. These became their generational habitats, but this resulted in extreme reliance on technology and those who could use it. They began to view the technology keeping them alive less as a technological advancement and more of a divine intervention, with those skilled in it as priests. The Martians began to worship the power of the machine, and this resulted in the formation of the cult Mechanicus, the belief in a holy trinity known as the Three-in-One. The machine god, serving as the spirit who gave rise to all technologies known, the motive force, the deity that gives all life its ability to live, and the Omnissiah, a physical manifestation of the machine god itself. This belief began to manifest in them physically as well. What were once humans began to really mess around with the character creator options, and this tech obsession made them view instances of flesh to be weak and spend their lives removing what makes them human and replacing it with mechanical augments. Robotic.
Wait, do the Adeptus Mechanicus, do they like the Necrons then? Isn't that exactly like what a Necron is? Do they worship the Necrons at all, or is there any like kind of anything going on between the two of them, or not really? Yes and no, kind of. They have a ton of conflicts with the Necrons. They hate each other. It's because they're AI, the worst heresy possible. Some, but the rest, no. If I remember correctly, they worship human tech. Oh, I see. And because that's like alien tech, it doesn't count? I see.
Limbs, glowing eyes, mechadendrite arms. What was once a mass of flesh now looks like the back of a router. And the oldest members of the Mechanicus no longer even look slightly human.
Okay, I take offense to the router comment because I've had people tell me that my ears look like router blades. Okay, I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with that. That's all I want to say is that it's okay to look like a router. It's not derogatory. I'm gonna, yeah.
In addition to this, cloaked over
what do you mean,
all
are
their
they not?
mechanical appendages
No.
are robes that reflect the color of their homeworld, the red robes of the Mechanicus. The cult Mechanicum, now the Adeptus Mechanicus, create a fascinating combination of cultures all birthed into one. Basically, techno-zealot monks. Organic life is the machine god's greatest accomplishment within the scope of the great work. All praise he who is 3-in-1. By giving us life within an organic shell, he presents us with the means and opportunity to improve upon physicality, as is his divine plan. He grants us complex weakness so we might learn metallic strength and ascend to his level of machinic perfection.
That's a really cool quote. I like this quote a lot. But also 3-in-1. 3-in-1 like our shampoo? Oh, the Holy Trinity. Okay, I was thinking like, yeah. I was thinking like shampoo or like a router modem combo or something. Right, he was talking about the 3 different gods earlier. Right, I remember now.
The Emperor's arrival to Mars was very much a walking in with the pizzas while the room is on fire moment, but to the Mechanicum, they saw his arrival as confirmation of their belief. They took one look at the glowing golden entity that showed up on their doorstep and were like, that's him. That's the guy right there, and they immediately accepted him as the Omnissiah. Obviously, showing up and being called Machine Jesus shortly after wiping out all instances of non-Machine Jesus a little bit beforehand is an instance of capital H heresy. But the Emperor saw the bigger picture. Were they strange with how they rubbed unguents on themselves, burned incense, and prayed to machines for them to work? Sure, but that's a lot of production right there. So the Emperor devised the Treaty of Olympus Mons, a unifying agreement between Terra and Mars. And this union would be permanently etched into the Aquila of the Imperium as the two-headed eagle. One head for Terra, and the other for Mars. The forces of the Emperor would be supplied with all the technology and weapons they needed to reunite the scattered remnants of humanity under one banner. And the Mechanicum of Mars would be able to keep doing what they were doing religiously and scientifically, so long as they kept up their tithes. This tithe meant total quality control over all technology in the Imperium. Is it a big spaceship? AdMech take care of that. Tanks? AdMech take care of that. The literal bullets in a gun? You guessed it. But unlike the factories of today, the forge worlds of Mars and the creations of the Mechanicum are a bit of a different experience altogether. Instead of a factory on a random given world, the entirety of the planet's surface is dedicated to manufacturing. But that's a little tricky, isn't it? Considering that the usage of silica animus, or AI, is a big no-no. And basically
what the fuck is this? What is this? What are these AI videos of the Rock eating rocks? What is this video? What is it? AI generated? What is cannibalism? Oh my god.
Largest affront to their divine machine god possible. Fortunately, there's a really neat alternative that they've come up with. And that's called a servitor. Incredible devices that can do anything from manufacturing, maintenance, basic door operation, even just float around like a helpful little drone. It's an extremely easy process too. All you need to do is take a human who is dying or preferably an enemy of the state, most likely that one, and lobotomize them. And then reprogram their brains to do exactly what they tell you. They even got little baby versions of them.
Oh, the baby cherubs.
So now you can rest easy knowing that the entirety of the Imperium, because they outlaw AI and learning new tech is heresy, is run on lobotomized slaves. Whether they deserve it or not is unimportant. And whether they can still keep their consciousness trapped in their own minds is another thing entirely.
Is showing.
An excerpt from the Servitor Creation Factories. Naked human beings were standing in a switch-packed line between high fences. The Manufactorum produced servitors, but it was more akin to an abattoir than a workshop.
I don't know what any of these words are.
Cleanable. Servitors with spray units surgically attached to their backs prowled about, hosing filth from slit drains set into the perfectly smooth, slanted floors. As the line slowly advanced, the people were passed through various scanning devices, most of them mounted in ugly, functional arches that let out a constant series of acceptance chimes. Occasionally, one would let out an angry blare, and the indicator lumens would flash red. The rejected person was then swallowed up by a trapdoor opening beneath their feet. From these pits wafted a hideous stench and the grinding sounds of industrial mincers. One rejected man grabbed onto the lip and hung there, arms and hands bloodied, shouting a stream of defiant profanities. Guards lined the grating either side of him and shocked him until he fell. The adepts wouldn't even waste bullets on these people. The trapdoor flipped up, and the next terrified person was ushered forward. Violent metal arms snatched them up and spread-eagled them in the air, and a servitor shearer shaved them all over. At another, they were subjected to a high-pressure counterseptic wash whose chemical stink made me choke from 100 feet away. More scanners, more rejects winnowed out. Machines forcibly dressed them in a heavy rubberized garment common to all monotask servitors. These were saggy on them, all one size, until another process shrank them to fit their bodies, where metal cuffs, sockets, and collars bit into vulnerable flesh. The last few prayers gave way to screams at that point, and even the most stoic shouted in pain. They were ushered over a floor, buzzing with power that made them shriek with every footstep. "What's that for?" I asked. "Follicular inhibitor, to stop their hair from growing," he said.
Oh, maybe I need that.
Sweet, Lois. As for their scientific pursuits, the Mechanicum believed in the preservation
I need that
of
so I don't have to keep
knowledge
shaving my
above
legs and
all,
armpits.
the quest to expand it. However, as opposed to just innovating and inventing on their own with their vast technological know-how, they believe that it is a form of tech heresy. You see, because of their religious viewpoints on technology itself, they believe that the instruction booklet itself is just as holy as the Lego set it builds, and to innovate on that without the proper written knowledge.
Wait, is this like an actual? Is this an actual 40k Lego? Does that exist? Is that a real thing? But this is so cute. It's fan made. Aw, dang.
Is to go against the divine word of the machine god itself. All knowledge is already in the universe. You simply need to rediscovering it and attempting to invent something to improve upon divinity is very heretical. Prior to the Age of Strife, humanity was able to populate the stars with devices known as standard template constructs, or STCs. These devices were, as far as we know, supercomputers.
You guys
with the
got
ability
STDs
to
on my brain.
detail how to create literally anything a startup colony would need. Essentially, they were devices with the entirety of human technological know-how so that you could make a home away from home. The Mechanicum will not make anything without an STC. Quite literally nothing, because this is the knowledge they seek, and that knowledge is divine. One time, scouts of the Imperial Guard found a functioning STC that provided the schematics on a knife.
I need to stop.
That happened to be a bit like
I need to stop filling the blanks in with my brain. I need to actually not do that. Apparently that's an ADHD trait. Did you guys know that? I need to stop doing that.
lighter and a bit sharper than most other knives. These knives were adopted by 30 Space Marine chapters and were one of the most advanced discoveries of the century. This discovery was so significant that they were each awarded a planet for finding this.
Wow.
A planet for a machine that taught them how to make knives. Due to their religious organization, you can probably guess the Mechanicum are organized in a feudal structure with the highest individuals in power being a part of the priesthood. Cream of the crop being the fabricator general of Mars itself, who serves as a high lord of Terra, but also oversees the entirety of the Mechanicum below. Below them are tech priests that oversee the cult for the quest of knowledge and other more straightforward theocracy. Forge worlds tend to operate slightly more independently, what can cause some power struggles within the Mechanicum, because, you know, despite them all being weird robots, they love being given praise. And despite being the manufacturing end of the Imperium, they do actually have their own military forces. They have the Skitarii Private Army and all their various 1920s Martian-style mechanisms like Doom Crawlers, Castellan robots, and of course, the Titan Legions, because nothing is cooler than a robot that towers over buildings. Ultimately, their very dogmatic view on technology as a whole has resulted in any innovation becoming absent, thus causing the Imperium to stagnate as a whole. The lack of ambition to create anything new and the wholesale murder of anyone who even tries leads to things becoming derelict. I grow weary of this flesh I was born into, strangely disgusted by its nature. I crave only the cold, clean certainty of steel and silicon, that I might become one with the blessed machine. I do not expect you to understand, you who cling to your flesh as if it were immortal, seeking only to preserve it, to protect it. One day you will see the folly of your ways, and then no doubt you will come begging to my order to preserve you.
I think it's like interesting. It's kind of like their own sort of pursuit of immortality to a certain way too.
After the groundwork had been set unification-wise, it was time to start getting things together for the Emperor's great crusade across the stars to bring humanity
They would worship Miku.
Banner. The Thunder Warriors were a perfect fighting force for unifying Terra and Luna, but the galaxy was a whole different thing. You see, these warriors weren't soldiers in the eyes of the Emperor. They were tools, extremely blunt tools used for the fast conquest of Terra. As the Emperor was concerned, the tools you use at home aren't the same ones you take on a road trip. So the Emperor rid himself of his tools in the exact manner you think he did, and he went forward to crafting a brand new tool. one more mobile, more efficient, and ready for his next era of
What the hell is that?
They shall be my finest warriors, these men who give of themselves to me. Like clay, I shall mold them, and in the furnace of war forge them. They will be of iron will and steely muscle. In great armor shall I clad them, and with the mightiest guns will they be armed. They will be untouched by plague or disease. No sickness will blight them. They will have tactics, strategies, and machines so that no foe can best them in battle. They will be my bulwark against the terror. They are the defenders of humanity. They are my soul.
Space Marines! I love Space Marine helmets. They're so cute.
The vastness of the Milky Way galaxy.
Okay, I will say that the Thunder Warriors, did we see them much? Maybe we didn't see them. Oh yeah, we saw them. They're not as cool. The Space Marines are much cuter, just saying.
Meant that the Emperor needed assistance bringing everyone back to the fold. And who better to do this than himself? But since the technology to be in many places at once does not exist anymore, the Emperor decided that it was time to become a dad, the same way Geppetto did, and with far less care. It is not my son, Arkan. None of them are. They are warlords, generals, tools bred to serve a purpose, just as legions were bred to serve a purpose. What a dad. The Primarch Project was started to create charismatic and unique leaders in the Imperial military. The diversity of these eventual leaders meant that each one could be specialized for certain circumstances across the galaxy. Depending on the type of conflict, one leader might be better than the other. So instead of forcing one leader to acclimate to a situation directly, it would be better to send a specialized leader and force to handle it. In order to do this, the Emperor used his genetic know-how and maybe a little bit of that forbidden stuff to create these genetically perfect gene fathers.
What secret stuff? I really like, I wish, okay, my one criticism, warp magic. Oh. I feel like the one thing Warhammer lore is missing is, I wish it was like Sengoku Rants where the Emperor just like banged like a bajillion women and like tried to have them like conceive his child, and then it's like that whole twisted idea of like a bunch of them just like died in the process, and that would be cool. They have one mom. Wait, they do? I thought you guys said last time they don't. Technically it happened. Warhammer Harem anime, real. That's what I want. Oh, he did, but it got retconned. Dang it. Why did they retcon that? He's 10 foot tall. If he banged anyone, they will die. What if the girl's also 10? What if she's 9 feet tall? You don't know that.
That had the ability to serve as his analog directly, and also serve as the leaders of the respective Space Marine legions. All 20, all 18, that's right, all 19 of his sons were meant to be directly molded by the Emperor himself, despite their genetic differences.
Oh, I like this art. This art's very cute. I like this very cutie art.
And they go as follows in order: Lionel Johnson, Fulgrim, Percherabo, Jagatai Khan, Lehman Russ, Rogel Dorn, Conrad Kurz, Sanguinius, Ferris Manus, Angron, Robute Gilliman, Mortarion, Magnus the Red, Horus Lupercal, Lorgar Aurelian, Vulcan, Corvus Corax,
I like
and
the Pokey Rap song in the background.
His sons finalize and...
Are we not gonna get... He has a video on the Primarch. I was gonna say, are we not gonna get like a lowdown of all the Primarchs? But okay, I guess we'll have to watch the Primarch video next time, because I kind of want to know what all their deals are. And like, you guys have been asking me who my favorite is, but I don't even know who any of them are.
Crafted to be the warriors he needed them to be were complete. But he may have decided to do a bit of dabbling with things he shouldn't have, and paid a price. Before the Primarchs were ready to go, an intervention by the gods of chaos prevented his plan from being completed as intended. Though the sources vary, The ultimate result of the Chaos God intervention was that all of the Emperor's tools were scattered throughout the galaxy at unknown places and times. Each one of his sons ended up in a completely different world, and instead of being able to directly influence their upbringing, these children were instead forced to experience the unique nature of their respective homeworlds. Some had a great time and lived in general luxury. Others, not so much. Despite his closest advisor, Malkador the Sigillite, saying, "All right, Chief, let's try this one again," the Emperor sensed each of his sons were still very much alive. And one of the primary objectives of the Great Crusade shifted to reclaiming each of his sons so they could take command of their specific Space Marine legions and carry out his will. The
RNG spawn location, they literally were like, all right, where'd y'all spawn at? They're trying to regroup.
These original Space Marine legions that were created alongside their Primarchs go in order: the Dark Angels, Emperor's Children, Iron Warriors, White Scars, Space Wolves, Imperial Fists, Night Lords, Blood Angels, Iron Hands, World Eaters, Ultramarines, Death Guard, Thousand Sons, Luna Wolves, eventually Sons of Horus, the Word Bearers, Salamanders, Raven Guard, and the Alpha Legion. Space Marines, unlike their gene fathers, the Primarchs, are not made in a vat. There is a process to recruit more members from humanity itself, which seems a bit strange considering how massive a Space Marine is compared to a normal man, but don't forget, the Emperor is really good with genetics. Less good with anesthetic, however. These prospects are recruited across humanity from various reasons and methods, and are generally killed during that process. But sometimes they aren't, and they are able to go through more and more of the actual training to assess certain traits that are important and relevant to being a Space Marine. Most of the time, the common factor is a pure, unrelenting willingness to kill the enemies of the Imperium. After going through psychological screening, the prospect, now called a neophyte, goes under the knife to become a Space Marine. And here is a quick list of all the cool new stuff they get genuinely.
The Pokey Rap song is back on.
A secondary heart, an organ that makes your bones grow, an organ that makes your muscles big, an implant that makes your blood stronger, a little organ that turns your white blood cells into super white blood cells, a brain implant that allows you to sleep while being awake, a pre-stomach that allows you to digest literally anything, a spinal implant that allows you to absorb the genetic memories of what you eat, bigger and better lungs that can let you breathe underwater, an implant that gives you stronger eyes, new ears that keep you from being dizzy, a brain implant that lets you go into suspended animation if you're in a bad shape, skin that acts like transition glasses, I almost got it in one take, a brand new kidney, the ability to taste the air and find enemies like a bloodhound, a special coating on your skin that allows you to be protected in space,
space
the
sunscreen, that's nice,
acid, a gland that allows you to absorb the unique genetic makeup from the gene seed in the first place, and a straight up carapace that allows the Space Marine to interface with their power armor.
That sounds pretty sweet.
Quite often, these are put inside of you at dubious levels of mental alertness and dubious levels of anesthetic. After a more generalized indoctrination into the faith of the Imperium and a bit more training and other important manners, they can finally be welcomed as a fully fledged Space Marine. A Space Marine is quite literally a walking tank that is armed to the teeth. Two of the
I'm Marie, thank you so much for the rain. Welcome, Raiders. I hope you guys had fun playing Hightail. I hopped in earlier just for like a little bit, so you guys might have seen me if you were at the very start of Emery's stream. But welcome, welcome. I hope you guys had fun. What did you guys do in Hightail? I hope you had fun. Hightail's so fun, you guys. I love it. She's addicted. I love Hightail. I want to play more. I haven't really had a chance to play very much though, so I hope you guys had a good time. We're watching some more Warhammer stuff. Welcome in, welcome in.
More iconic weapons held by a Space Marine are their bolt gun, which fires explosive shells the size of soda cans, and a chain sword, which is the Space Marine is clad in a colorful carapace known as power armor, crafted from extremely heavy and durable ceramite. The power armor of a Space Marine protects him from any terrors he may face, be it the void of space itself to an inhospitable atmosphere. This armor, combined almost biologically with an already massive physique, makes the Space Marine an almost unstoppable fighting force. And hell, if the armor doesn't protect them enough, they can always become a walking coffin like the dreadnoughts of the chapters are.
Walking coffin? Oh, this is so cute. I love the chunky space marine. Like, I love the guys and I love their mechs. They're all so chunky and geometric. It's very cute.
What truly adds to it all, however, is the sheer difference in some of them. While a space marine in its own right is an indoctrinated freight train on legs, how they act can be quite different from chapter to chapter. The gene seed of a Primarch is not just helping them become big and strong, but allows them to gain certain traits from their forefathers. Everything from how they think to even slightly adjusting their physical appearance once it's been implanted, the gene seed can be the personality of an entire Space Marine. Take the Salamanders, for example. Salamanders have a predisposition to fire as a whole, and tend to be extremely large due to the size of their Primarch, Vulcan, and his enormous stature. Whereas someone like Sanguinius, Primarch of the Blood Angels, share more vampiric features and more angel-like qualities. A gene seed is not just aspects of the Primarchs, but they are also flaws too. Magnus the Red and his Thousand Sons underwent something known as the
Thousand Sons,
a horrifying mutation that, while it made them strong psychers, would affect their bodies so terribly that they would mutate away from humanity. Where other factions have inspiration for their culture from our real world, like the feudal Japanese of the Eldar or Egyptian style the Necrons, each Space Marine chapter themselves carry an inspiration. The White Scars are motorcycle riding Mongolian fighters. These Space Wolves are Norse Vikings. The Dark Angels are Knights of the Round Table, and so on. This moves into their fighting style, and truthfully, there is no end to the characters and options when it comes to the Space Marines. Space Marines are the main symbol you see, and while many of them can be simply indoctrinated warriors who only care about conflict and can be quite boring, then you meet Dante, or Bjorn, or Argel Tal, or Karn, or Lucius, or Erebus. And then you discover the wealth of these characters and tools of war you can have. For 1100 years, I have fought and I have seen the darkness in our galaxy. I have seen the vileness of the alien and the heresy of the mutant. I have witnessed the sin of possession, and I have seen all the evil that the galaxy harbors, and I have slain all whose presence defiles the Emperor. I have seen what you will see. I have fought what you must fight, and I have slain what you must slay. So fear not and be proud, for we are the sons of Sanguinius, the protectors of mankind. We are indeed the angels of death.
Everyone hates Erebus. Who's Erebus? Dante's an unk. He's you. What the fuck? He's the oldest living Space Marine. He's 1,500 years old. Erebus did nothing wrong. Erebus rubs hands. Erebus sucks. Dante's based. Erebus started all. He's the reason that everything sucks now. Oh. Oh, he's the one that turned Horus. Oh, Dante wanted to die so bad. Real. Mood. Gotcha.
Despite being the poster children for Warhammer 40k as a whole, the presence of a Space Marine is a rare sight for the countless trillions of humans across the galaxy. Seeing one of these monstrosities is like seeing something akin to an angel sent by the Emperor himself. These angels of death are the essential fighting force to bring humanity back under the unified banner of the Imperium. Yet ultimately, the Space Marines are individuals torn from their families and conscripted to genetic modification and lifelong service for the dying Imperium. And though they are held in an almost holy light, most believe they are above and beyond the people they are designed to serve. Once designed as the protectors of humanity, they seldom view humanity as something worth saving. To the extent that it is a tiny, minute rarity, though not unheard of, for a Space Marine to put a normal citizen above them in any way. For most Space Marines and even their Primarchs, they are only here to do a job. They are there to kill the enemies of humanity, and I would be remiss if I didn't add at least one more of my favorite quotes to
this is except for the salamanders, right? Aren't the salamanders the ones that are like actually really nice and they help everybody?
The tail end of this section. The time for speeches is done, said Rogel Dorm. The first great test is here. My order to you all is simple, yet heed it well, and exert yourselves to see it done. They are coming. Kill them all. While the Space Marines are the spearhead of the Imperium's Great Crusade and also a major player in its warfare, there is a significant amount of importance that must be taken on their transport. What sci-fi universe would be complete without its navy? When you think of the navy or ships on the open sea, you think of something that is sleek, something mobile, and something pretty big. For perspective, the longest self-propelled ship in history was the TTCY's Giant, an oil tanker that was about 458 meters long or over about 1,500 feet. This right here is child's play in the world of 40k ships. A ship that is considered to be an escort vessel in the Imperium is about 3 times the size of a CY's Giant, and the size of the ships only go up from there. Your most common ships are the cruisers. The light cruiser tends to average at about 2 kilometers long, or just over a mile in length, where the Dictator class cruisers can be over 3 kilometers or 2 miles in length. The largest ships are your battleships, and they are tremendous. We're talking 5-mile long, half a mile high monstrosities that look like gigantic Gothic cathedrals. And
they look so cool though. I like the cathedral, like how it literally just has like a church on it and it has all these arches and shit. Like it looks crazy, but I like it. It looks really cool.
And filled to the brim with weaponry. And not only are they filled with weapons, but they are also jam-packed with crewmen. Battleships tend to, on average, carry a crew between several thousand to several million, and they need every single one of those members because we don't have advanced technology for other things to pilot themselves or control themselves in a meaningful way because there's no AI. A lot of this stuff has to be done manually. Even the reloading of those giant batteries is a form of manual labor. And of course, generally speaking, gliding through the stars is a very slow way to do things. And let's be honest, there can't be a science fiction setting without some form of hyperspace travel. This form of travel in 40k is less like going to Plaid in Spaceballs and more like going into Davy Jones' zipper dimension in SpongeBob.
Oh, now what? I suppose you're gonna show me. Oh, gee, that's very nice. Oh, what is this? Some kind of magic act?
Oh my god, I love all the Davy Jones episodes. They're so goofy.
This is because it utilizes the immaterial warp to do so. Warp travel is handled by a navigator, which is an abhuman. It's a mutated human, don't worry about it. And they have a gene that gives them a third eye and the ability to help steer the ship through the warp, which, as we know, is hell itself and unreality. Now, this might sound exceptionally dangerous, and that's because it is. Now, the ship does have protection in the form of a Geller field, though. Originally, I assumed the Geller field is what you think it is, a large force field stopping all manner of horrible things, like demons from the warp tearing apart your ship.
They're so square.
How wrong I was, though. So space travel through the warp basically involves riding on the Sea of Souls. Hell is real and you can surf on it. So you allow the current to carry you and the navigator to direct. But how can a current of souls and unreality carry you when it doesn't obey the laws of physics, time, or, again, reality? What a Geller field is not a force field, but a comatose imperial psyker dreaming of reality.
What?
It is not a bubble. It is a force of reality being projected by mutant Sleeping Beauty to counteract the unreality of the warp that you can then surf on. This, of course, is not a foolproof method of travel, and Geller fields can and do collapse fairly regularly. Being subjected to the warp itself without this Geller field is a terrifying prospect. In the best case scenario,
like, what if you just wake up? I guess they would like put you on sleeping pills or something if you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
Your ship will be torn to shreds. But there are countless instances of ships being thrown out of the warp randomly throughout time itself. You leave for a 2-day mission and you come back 90 years in the past. Maybe you feel like you're lost in the warp for a century and it's only been 45 minutes. And that is only if the waves of souls don't rip your ship apart or have demons arrive on it to do unspeakable things to the crew. The Imperial Navy is an astronomically powerful force for the Imperium because the sheer volume of ships and guns on those ships create firepower that can sunder planets. This is all juxtaposed with the sheer backwater nature of these ships. While they are manned by crews of zealots, they are also operated with such a backwater tech, it completely confuses the reader. You see the long batteries of portside cannons that the ship has, and remember that AI is heresy in this world and that all the mechanics are utilized by lobotomized slaves. So how do they load these? Well, they have gun gangs. Massive gangs of hundreds of people manually loading these cannons.
Oh, Lord.
These are genuine gun loader gangs that get into gang wars and squabbles. On the ship's bridge, you may find the captain himself hardwired directly into the ship's chair permanently to control it the best they can. Giant screens of hololith data fill the room, and sensors across the ship are just as likely to tell you information as a serf running up to you with a scroll of parchment is. You reach to a microphone to shout orders down a hallway as paper readouts tell you information of the enemy, and holy sigils and candlelit incense burners gleam your next move. While the
that scared me. That had scared me. What does that say? Baby? Navy? 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 I think the AI stuff is really funny. See, this is why, I as an entity, as your virtual office assistant, you know, sometimes you need to rely on me, okay, is all I'm saying.
Is not a specific faction of the Imperium in the same sense and format of this video. It is what shepherds around the entirety of its armed forces. Every Space Marine Primarch had a flagship, and every strike cruiser and battle barge has a story to tell. But if there is a single thing that the Shield of the Navy does the best, it is to help support and supply the monumental forces of the Imperium. The hammer of the Emperor himself, the uncountable men and women of the
Imperial Guard.
I don't care if these things have adapted to resist our las guns. If we can't kill them with our rifles, then we'll kill them with heavy bolters. And if we can't kill them with heavy weapons, we'll use grenades. And if grenades don't work, then we'll fight them with our swords and our knives and our bare hands. We'll drown them in our blood. That's what it means to be a soldier of the Imperial Guard. Now follow me. Charge! There is no better symbol of the might of the Imperium itself than the Astra Militarum, or as it is commonly known, the Imperial Guard.
These guys are just like normal guys, right?
The Space Marines take the glory and stand as the visual representation of the Imperium. Their numbers are dramatically thin and specialized in comparison. To reclaim 1,000,000 worlds, you need a countless number of troops willing to fight and die for your cause. The Imperial Guard represents the Imperial truth made manifest. Every year, the worlds of the Imperium pay a tithe in the form of soldiers to fight the good fight of the Emperor, and this number is impossible to pin down. Even saying billions would be a dramatic understatement. The sheer volume of soldiers serves as the fundamental backbone of the Imperium. 99.9% of battles fought by the Imperium are fought by the sundering might of the Imperial Guard. With the knowledge that the Space Marines are essentially sentient tanks, what do the members of the Imperial Guard have? If they're the might of the Emperor himself, are they not suited up in a similar way? No, not really. No fancy suits, no biological enhancements, and basically no expectation to live. Once a regiment of guard are activated, they are sent directly into battle with almost no expectations that they will survive. This is because, despite their training, their incredibly powerful armor, and extremely strong weapons that would crush any army of the modern day, they are so hopelessly outmatched to the things they will face. Sending a member of the guard is throwing a rock at a nuclear bomb. However, where they lack in advancement, they make up for in sheer numbers, and their overwhelming force can be the difference maker in any deployment they face. Quantity is a quality all its own. If they do happen to survive, they will be sent to the next battle, and so on. Seldom do members of the Astra Militarum get old or retire, and those that do are truly to be feared. There's an old saying that the average lifespan of a guardsman is about 15 hours from deployment, and considering the sheer number of guardsmen out there in any given battle, that number is probably accurate. When several million of your pool of guardsmen die within the first few hours of combat because the orcs threw a moon at you, it can really screw the numbers. The soldiers of the guard are conscripted and trained on an incredible number of worlds in the Imperium, and these worlds can impact their training and their combat style directly. The most famous visually are the Cadian shock troops.
Oh no, rest in peace.
But other notable guard factions include the gas mask clad death corps.
Oh, those are cool. I like the gas mask guys, but I just like don't like things with human face. I don't know if you guys are picking up on this, but I just don't like things with human faces. I'm just gonna say that, unless they're anime. Rest in peace, Cadia.
Rambo level of Catachan jungle fighters and the iron-willed Mordian Iron Guard. This also helps them specialize against individual types of enemies. The Indigan Prefects are a special guard regiment that came from a planet whose planetary governor, the leader of the planet, thought it was fun to collect exotic animals, which then crossbreed and then became the giant freight train-sized monsters destroying the planet. So the Indigan Prefects are specialized for big monsters.
Oh.
Hello, Tyrannid.
Oh my god, puppy! Oh, he's so cute. This one's really especially cute. I like this one.
One particularly interesting officer in the guard is the enforcement officer known as the Commissar. And they are one of the more...
Wait, the card game? Warhammer has a card... I mean, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me, but is it like a TCG? Or is it more like a board game, card game? Oh, a long time ago. It's defunct now. Oh.
Visually striking members of a regiment. These are specialized Imperial officers and act as morale officers. But instead of singing
Magic had a collab. That's cool.
Providing hot meals, the commissars are there to make sure that the members of the regiment continue to fight to the bitter end. If a soldier does not meet the standards of the commissar, the solution is simple. There are trillions of other soldiers out there. We don't really need you. Combat fatigue? Headshot. Concerns about the conflict? Headshot. Fleeing the battlefield? You bet that's a headshot.
Oh,
Considering that
no.
these officers tend to be outside of their regiment, feelings on them can be mixed. And in fairness, certain commissars, like the esteemed Ibram Gaunt or Caiaphas Kane, tend to do a bit better with the whole people talking part. Because if, say, you were trying to tell a beefed up Catachan jungle fighter what to do, you might take a mysterious leave of absence inside a carnivorous plant. But no matter what I say, I don't think I can truly convey the sheer might of the Imperial Guard, so I'm gonna get a visual aid. Let's take a look at this image right here, right? This is the cover of the 9th edition Codex for the Astra Militarum, the official cover art. Your eyes may be drawn to the dark and brutal looks of some of the main members on the front and the gigantic orc they are attacking. But
by orc,
zoom out a little bit. There is no floor. There is only people, and behind those people are tanks, and behind those tanks are flying artillery shells. There are 2 enormous transport ships in the sky, and their ramps are down, and on their ramps are more people. The Imperium is described as having 1,000,000 worlds. 1,000,000 worlds. And each one of them gives soldiers to the Imperial Guard for the tide.
Do they just like fuck like rabbits or something? How they got so many people? Because like I understand if they're like, you know, they're like genetically created or like made or like whatever, pulled out of the warp or whatever, but these guys are just guys. There are a lot of humans. It's not a pleasant life to be a regular human. Yes. 1,000,000 worlds. Yeah, but even if you have 1,000,000 worlds, like if everything is like war stricken, that's probably not like a ton of people living in good conditions. So it's probably just like a lot of banging is what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? We're the ants of the universe. Every hole is the goal after all. Fair.
On a given battlefield, in a given fight, Foot soldiers number in the millions, tanks in the tens of thousands, and you have enough artillery to turn the night sky day. You have walkers and APCs and aircraft and horse cavalry and tanks the size of apartment buildings. You have drop troops and spec ops and rattling snipers and gigantic ogres that can't count to 4, but they can turn you into 4 pieces.
Is this guy like a cherub? Why does this guy have he's like a little bird body? Who is this guy?
And it just doesn't end. Humanity is a horde army, but instead of a horde of bugs or rampaging orcs, it's a living wall of guns. At the end of the day, though he's been ferried through hell on a ship that's 10,000 years old to some godforsaken war-torn rock, though he deployed from high orbit with nothing but a grav chute, though he is one of 10 million men and women snatched from his homeworld to fight a war he barely understands, though he has been given a weapon that fires small suns and may annihilate him as he fires because the knowledge of how it functions has been lost, though his company is supported by tractor tanks that run on anything you can burn, though he wages war against the devouring hive mind, ravenous demons and hordes of hyper-advanced aliens with strange technologies and sorceries he never dreamed existed. No one will remember his sacrifice. There will be no records of his deeds, no glorious parades in his honor, and no remembrance of his name. All he will earn is a shallow, unmarked grave on a forgotten world untold light years from home. Yet for all this thankless sacrifice, a guardsman is a man, just like you. He has no millennia-old genetic engineering, no prophetic leader, no miracles of faith. He has his lasgun, his orders, and those beside him. He is the Imperial Guard, and he will hold the line.
I keep saying this, but the writing in Warhammer is incredible. Like every time he reads a quote, it's just so good. Like the writing itself is just very, very, very good. And like obviously I don't know the context of a lot of the stuff, like if it's like is it in a book or is it just like an excerpt from the codex of whatever army it is, but yeah, I mean you guys are all saying he's cherry picking, but it is very, very, very good. At least even like just cherry picking, I feel like not all media nowadays, I mean I guess this is a very old media, so it's like you have 40 years of writing to pick from, but it is very, very like well written and very profound, and I like it a lot.
In the end, the Astra Militarum, despite fighting for the honor of the Imperium, are their own form of a massive horde army where individuality does not matter. They are merely numbers to the Imperium, and the vast majority of the conflicts they are sent to are attrition-based battles that gain virtually no ground while countless millions die. Yet this
there's a lot of bad writing. Okay, well that's good to know that not all of it is good, but all the ones that Bricky has picked at least are really, really well written.
This makes them the most human. For the Imperial Guard contains normal people, people who are happy and sad, people who laugh and love, and in there are stories, because there is strength in facing the horrors of the universe head on with nothing but a rifle in your hands and a prayer on your lips. Armed with an innumerable amount of Imperial soldiers and Space Marines, the Navy begins its great crusade into the stars to rescue the stranded Primarchs and reunite them to their legions. But the biggest question needed to be asked was, what would they find? The age of strife lasted for thousands of years. If a civilization was still alive out there in the galaxy, what would they be like? The technological advancements of humanity prior to and during the Dark Age technology was unfathomable. It allowed them to spread through the galaxy with ease and allowed them to settle once inhospitable planets. These branches of humanity were provided with the vast knowledge of human creations and were given gigantic machines to make arduous labor and ease. The spreading of these massive colony ships was known as the Long March, and these ships would be retrofitted into settlements upon arrival to their new homes. Accompanying them were the gigantic pieces of farm equipment that served multiple purposes and the specialized pilots that could maintain them. They were not only able to tend the fields and do labor, but when interstellar communication was cut off, they also did a great job of protecting the colonists against both threats demonic and alien. Because of the significance of these machines, those that could pilot them were powerful enough to be considered leaders, and the upkeep and preservation of the machines and the lineage of those who could pilot them was imperative. These machines, over the thousands of years, would eventually be known as the
Imperial Knights.
He must be humble of heart, strong of arm, be savage in war, loyal to hearth, and follow deeds of glory. He must keep honor with all, banish cowardice from his doings, and bring his house no shame. He must serve the emperor and defend the Imperium, thus should a knight rule himself. The Age of Strife caused these colonized worlds to be cut off from the Imperium, and the reversion of these worlds resulted in the reverence for this farm equipment turned feudal, and the leadership that controlled the devices became viewed as a noble hierarchy. During the Age of Strife, exploratory fleets from Mars found plenty of these worlds, and it seemed the majority of them reverted to a similar state. Like King Arthur seeing Merlin himself, these feudal worlds welcomed the tech priests of Mars with open arms. The mutual relationship between the Admech and the nobility was beneficial. The Admech were able to secure more worlds for mining resources and potentially long-lost STC information, and the noble houses were provided with technological know-how and modifications from the Admech themselves. The suits became.
What knight pattern do you like? I haven't really seen too much of these guys, so this is kind of my first real foray into them. So we'll see. I don't know if they're really gonna go into. I don't know if he's gonna really go into it in this video. So we might have to just wait till I watch like a more in-depth video next time. But we'll see.
More and more specialized, and their history as mere pieces of equipment were lost to time. What was once a tractor became a killdozer, and the Imperial Knights were born. Unlike other military aspects of the Imperium, the nobility of the Knight houses remains just that, a nobility-focused feudal hierarchy that swears fealty to either the Mechanicum or to Terra. Like the knights in our history, once they swear fealty, they can be called to aid their respective allegiance in the heat of battle. The ones that swear fealty to Terra are led by the High Monarch, while the ones with the Mechanicum are led by the Princeps. The ones with Terra might be sent directly to the front line of war, while the ones with the Mechanicum tend to be sent to protect the Forge world. And
also a lot of incest among knights. Is it because they're trying to keep like the royal lineage or whatever? Interesting. I will say that like I do like that they're chunky, but I don't like that their heads are like in their chests aesthetically. And they're a little bit too like old school knight looking for my mech taste personally, but they are very cool. And I like the lore behind them.
Heraldry of these houses is what you'd expect from a generic history of knights. Houses pledging allegiances.
Wait, girls are icky? Wait, so is it like Mpreg? Like what do you mean that girls are, so they're like, are there no girl knights? Like it's just dude knights and they're like incestual BL Mpreg dude knights? Oh, there are women knights. Okay. There are plenty of girls. Okay. I was gonna say, I mean, technically, as you guys have stated, the Emperor, that is Mpreg. Like Mpreg, but also Mpreg. So Mpreg is not out of the question in Warhammer. I'm just saying.
Here and there, your run-of-the-mill War of the Roses aesthetic. Except instead of ponies, you have gigantic death machines. These knights can't seem to be piloted by any old person, however. A member of the nobility of any given knight house must go through the ritual of becoming. This ritual involves them sitting on the device used to control the knight, known as the Throne Mechanicum, for a full night. What's wrong with that? I mean, sitting in a chair for a full evening sounds pretty great right about now. So a pilot cannot drive a knight. They can, but it moves about as effective as Ripley from Aliens 2, big, lifter thing. It is, in a sense, a beast that must be controlled. and a pilot must merge with it. The mind of the noble is connected to the machine and must fight with the mental signatures and personalities of the prior pilots as well. Everything a knight experiences in battle is felt by the pilot themselves, be it the general movement in the battlefield or damage sustained by the machine itself. If a knight's leg is blown off in
this is like shit, what mecha is it that does this? It's like the one where they're inside the thing, and then they what's the one that I'm thinking about, and they're just kind of like a little, they're like naked in there, and they just, it's Pacific Rim. I haven't seen Pacific Rim, not gonna lie. Evangelion does that. What's the other one that I'm thinking of that does that? Is it G Gundam that I'm thinking of? Maybe the more description, the inside. I'm thinking like they're like, usually they're like inside the cockpit, but it's not like an actual cockpit. It's like they're like in like almost a separate space, and there's like nothing in the space, and there's just like a little orb or something, you know? I'm thinking of one specific one, but I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. And they like, oh my god, I don't remember. I'm like remembering parts of it, but I'm also not remembering parts of it. You haven't seen Pacific Rim? Okay, I have to make a disclaimer that I don't watch live act. Like, when I say I'm like a fucking disgusting, filthy weeb, I really do mean it. Like, I do not watch a lot of live action television or movies. I don't like to look at real people. I also get anxiety when I watch a lot of live action stuff. So I tend to mostly just watch animated stuff. It can be Western animation, but obviously I'm a weeb, so I prefer Japanese animation or Asian animation in general. But yeah, I don't really do a lot of the movie stuff, unfortunately. But occasionally I do, and usually it's like when people tell me that, people who know me well, they're like, oh, that wouldn't trigger your anxiety, so then I will watch certain things. Pacific Rim, I was told I would really like, and I have been meaning to watch it. It's just one of those things that I just never got around to, so I didn't watch it, and I just haven't had any reason to watch it. So yeah, don't watch 2. I've been told not to watch 2. I heard 2 was bad, so I will definitely avoid 2. Man, I can't think of what mech series I'm thinking. It's like on the tip of my brain. Oh man, when I remember, I'll let you guys know. I can't remember right now off the top of my head.
Battle, the pilot could experience a broken bone in the same spot. The merging to the machine forever changes the mentality of the noble that experiences it. This connection reinforces a strong degree of nobility and honor in the pilot, and a desire to fight for the glory of their house.
I'm sorry, I saw you guys asking earlier, but I didn't finish the 13 Sentinels yet. I have actually been like just so swamped since December, basically, that I haven't had I know it's kind of hard to believe, but I genuinely haven't had much free time to myself. In the last couple months, I've been like nonstop either working or streaming. So I really haven't had time to do anything outside of what you see on stream and what I do in my day job. So, and also like, you know, like IRL stuff, like family stuff or like friend stuff. So I really haven't had time. I really want to play it, and I haven't even finished Witch on the Holy Night, which I started a while ago. The one thing that I get to do for myself every day is right before I sleep, I play one Chaos run in Chaos Zero Nightmare. That's my treat to myself every night. I play one run of Chaos in Chaos Zero Nightmare. So that's the only thing that I've been doing outside of stream and work. So it's been a hot second. It's not Star Driver because I haven't seen Star Driver, but I've been wanting to see Star Driver. The crazy thing is I actually can't remember if the pilot was a girl or a guy. I want to say it was a girl, and there was like another girl that at the last episode was also inside of the mech somehow, or it was a guy and then at the last episode the girl is in the mech, and it was like a recent anime, like in the last 10 years when I say recent. And that's like, I don't know why it's like on the tip of my brain. And I remember the like way that they piloted it, like they don't have a handle. It's just like a glowing orb or something like that. Vandred, wait, is it Vandred? Let me see. It was like a, no, Vandred's older. It wasn't Vandred. It was something newer. I don't remember. Anyway, I'll think of it and I'll let you guys know. Was it Darling in the Franxx? But I didn't finish it, so I don't remember. It's on the tip of my brain.
Until the bitter end, as their ancestors' minds are linked directly to the knight. The size of these knights can vary, but generally speaking, they stand in the ballpark of 30 to 50 feet tall and are protected by a thick adamantium armor. Beyond that, they have their own unique ion shield generators that give them added protection, and when it comes to their looks, the most common pattern across the Imperium is the Questoris pattern, and it's honestly the one
these are the patterns you guys were talking about.
But there are also smaller versions like Armage.
Okay, am I just like being bionicle brain pilled, or do these guys also kind of look like bionicles?
And bigger ones known as the Dominus. As for a loadout, these guys are essentially a violent Mr. Potato Head. Battle cannons, Gatling cannons, heavy flamers, thermal cannons, up close and personal. How about a gigantic chainsword or a straight up gauntlet? And for that empty spot up top, screw it. More auto cannons, maybe add some missiles. Whatever you can do to make it as over the top as possible, you gotta do it. A squire serves a knight serves a lord serves a baron, and a baron serves a monarch. So who does the monarch serve? He serves every subject, from the rudest serf to the members of the court. Chivalric fealty, when ideally practiced, is not a pyramid, but a circle. Ironically, on the surface, night worlds themselves...
That reminds, this is like me being work brain pilled, but that actually is like a really big concept, not just for like a monarchy or whatever. It's more like that's actually like one of the base principles for project management. So if you ever take a project management class, it's called servant leadership. But anyway, just getting, my brain's like, oh, I learned that in work.
Are one of the least grim dark settings in the galaxy. Reverting to an ancient time with knights and peasants is almost an escapism from the techno hell of the modern Imperium. But this of course doesn't make it great for everyone. It sounds fun on paper to play a game of knights, but it's not so fun when you're the peasant of that world. For the knights themselves, the knights give their entire lives to the Throne Mechanicum, and their reality is not their own, as they have to hear the voices of thousands of generations of their ancestors controlling their actions and their lives for as long as they live.
It's kind of like Avatar.
When it comes to Warhammer, most to all jobs tend to be terrible. However, if there was one that could be considered enjoyable, it would be the pilot of a knight, or a princeps of their larger cousins. While it does contain an egregious amount of hardship to be a knight pilot, you do enjoy a wealth of privilege. A knight pilot is often an asshole who can back it up. The rich noble that, despite his braggadocious behavior, is still very much him, and he will continue to be him. But knights are not the only thing that the Imperium found lost in the stars during their Great Crusade. Due to the circumstances of the Age of Strife, humans were changing and adapting to their new homes they were now isolated on. Some of these humans evolved over thousands of years to adapt to these areas, and they were known as abhumans. Many abhumans found their way into the Imperial Guard or other lesser positions in the Imperium if they were not wiped out immediately for being too different from their human counterparts.
Racism.
But their abilities and appearance vary from planet to planet, and one particular group of abhumans have made quite a name for themselves in the center of the galaxy.
The League of Dotan? Is that aka the Kin? Is that what that says?
The origins of what will be known as the kin start at some point during the Dark Age technology, where their ancestors left a planet that is very much Terra and went to the galactic core to mine it of its resources. They brought along with them everything that they would need for a long-term stay, most important of which were the incredible AI-based supercomputers. Be it guidance, technical or philosophical, schematics, or the ability to upload the memories of a deceased explorer to gather information from them, these computers became an essential part of their everyday life, especially considering that the galactic core is one of the most inhospitable places in the galaxy. It is an exceptionally star-dense location, full of abnormalities, black holes, and sentient hostile
Puppy! Wait, he's so cute! Of course not, AI can't read CAPTCHA. What the hell is that supposed to mean? That wasn't a CAPTCHA!
nebula. Whatever that last part means. It is not a safe and easy place to make a living, and this only got—
Wait, this helmet is so cute! This helmet's so cute! Look at how, like, it looks like a Haro, or like a little Mega Man guy. That's so cute!
Worse thanks to the warp storms during the Age of Strife. In order to adapt to this area, these travelers perfected a genetic makeup that made their future clones to be more adept to the area. These
he has like a dragon on top of his head.
Future clones would be shorter and more robust than their ancestors, and the need to procreate would be unnecessary because why risk messing up a good employee when you can just make a new one? These would be known as the squats, and they would all die.
Squats.
Except for when they didn't. And now they are known by a different name. Most void-faring races have at least one cautionary tale of foolish explorers vanishing amidst its blazing stellar nurseries and strange anomalies. Yet for the leagues of Voton, the galactic core has been home now for millennia. These squat humanoids would begin to establish themselves in the core, and their goals would be the same as their ancestors. Rockin' stone!
Rockin' stone!
Actually, kinda, yeah. Whenever one of them would die, they would know that that sucker would need to be uploaded to the machines like their forefathers did. But the original purpose of these machines was lost to time. What was once a technical resource for them turned into a ritual known as joining the ancestors. And the fact that they were clones at this point meant that the same copy of the same individual would be uploaded countlessly. The sheer overuse of these computers and the repeated uploading of redundant data has turned these once powerful supercomputers into your parents' computer after you installed LimeWire on it, and whose 50 Google Chrome tabs definitely contain information they will return to one day.
Okay. Call out was unnecessary, sir. Call out was unnecessary. And I want you to know that I have over like 400 Google tabs, okay? Not 50. I have over 400, okay? Excuse you. And I go back to them, okay? Trust.
So much corruption that these computers began to develop the makings of a personality of their own. These would be known as the Voton, and the kin, this dwarf-like abhuman of humanity, would revere them. The Voton still operate to this day, but the volume of corruption have made anything outside of their very basic functions highly unpredictable. They may not answer a question for centuries at a time, and if they do provide—
the fucking— Why is this computer so dusty? Oh my god!
An answer or data, it has become so corrupted and so incongruent that it takes a literal kin wizard to comprehend it. The kin, much like the dwarves of fantasy, exist nowadays as a mercantile species that constantly work to mine and manufacture. However, their capitalistic desires are dangerous. The biggest crimes a kin can face are being lazy, unproductive, and breaking a contract. Stellar conflicts have broken out over hundreds of years due to the breaking of a deal. So if you signed a contract with a kin, you best stick to it. Because of this, the kin have been known to interact with other species in a fairly common manner. This includes humanity, who have met various members of the kin multiple times, but constantly considered them to be all a different species. Famously, the Imperium noted that the kin they referred to as the Squats were their own species and were wiped out by the Tyranids. Little did they know, they were still around. The kin are acutely aware of two things. The first is that the humans of the Imperium are deeply terrified of technology, so the sheer existence of the Voton is a secret as well as the truth. This extends also to the Iron Kin, sentient robots that are treated in the same esteem of flesh and blood kin, because kin is kin. The second thing they are aware of is where they're from. They are fairly confident that they are from Terra, and they know that if this secret was to be known by the Imperium, that the Imperium might want to take ownership of them and everything they've built. So the more alien they are, the better. Now this
is cool. I don't think we learned about these guys in the last video, but I like this lore. It's very cool. Like the idea of they look otherly, so the human race treats them otherly, but they're actually from Earth, but they're actually kind of like chill with the idea that the humans are racist towards them, and they kind of use that in their like to their benefit. And then they like have this secret computer and they're like cloning themselves, and they have like AI and shit, but like they know that the humans don't like that stuff, so they're like hiding all of that. I think that's really cool. It's a really interesting idea. They're the newest guys. Oh, when did they come out, Chad? The old video was during the 8th. So this is the 9th edition. Oh, I see. The 9th edition? Yeah, but like when was the 9th edition released? 3 years ago? 3 years ago. They get away with it because they live in space Antarctica and it fucking blows hard, so nobody goes to look too hard. That's true. Oh, we're on 10th edition. Oh, is there anything new in 10th edition? When did 10th edition come out? 11th comes out this spring. Oh, wow. Oh, how often do the editions come out? I mean, considering we're only on 11, but there was like 40 years of this, is kind of surprising, I guess, but that's cool. Is there going to be like around 2 to 3 years? Oh. Do you guys know if there's any like, are there any leaks? Are there any new races and classes and stuff coming out, or we don't know? That's cool. I like these guys. These guys are cool. Last few editions, they've stuck to every 3 years as a cycle. Gotcha. She's asking for the leaks. Where are there any leaks? Add the VTuber race, please. True. Scabin? Which one is Scabin? Blood Angels and Orcs. We want the Exodites, the dinosaur guys, right? They need a glitch stars race. Oh, Scavin are the rat guys, but isn't that in fantasy? That's not in 40k, right? Or is that also in 40k? Not new factions, just sub factions. Gotcha. I know some of the Kiln called Demirg allied themselves with a Tau. Oh, Tonya! Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome, Raiders! I hope you guys had a wonderful stream. If you guys haven't checked out Tonya's recent anniversary concert, you guys definitely should. She did an amazing job, and I watched it. It was so good, and Tonya is an incredible singer, and she's so freaking cute, so everyone go check her out. Welcome in! Today we're watching the every single Warhammer 40k faction re-explained. We're on part 1. I actually don't think we're gonna make it to part 2 today. I was thinking because last time I feel like it took 4 hours to get through 2 videos, but today I feel like it's taken a lot longer to get through the 1 video, but maybe it's just because I have a lot more to say this time. Also, we had a bit of like some technical issues earlier, so it is taking us a little bit longer. So I'm probably gonna do part 2 in a separate video. We're like at the tail end though. We're at the tail end. Oh, she was studying today. That's right. Oh, thank you guys. I hope you guys had a good stream. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Sounds fine and good, right? What could possibly be wrong with these guys besides the hyper late stage space capitalism? Well, we have to go back to their creation. The kin are an entirely clone-based race made from the computers that are exceptionally difficult to recreate. These machines, the Voton, are becoming more and more unpredictable and derelict. If anything were to happen to these machines, it would be a twofold ending of the kin. New kin cannot be reproduced, reducing their numbers, and the existing kin would have no further purpose because the end that awaits them would be non-existent existent. The horror of the kin civilization is that the entire purpose of their lives is to do the best they can at their duty and upload all they know to the Votan, their ancestors.
So they can't reproduce because all of them are clones already anyway? Is that why they can't reproduce? Like they don't have reproductive functions anymore, or like it would be like super ancestral because they're all just the same person, I guess. The irony is their purpose in life is killing the Votan. Wait, really? They're wanting to kill the Votan, but they're uploading all of their data into the Votan. Oh, I see.
Ancestor cores join their ancestors, but doing so is actually the thing that is killing these supercomputers in the first place.
What?
The ancestors were dead, but through the first truths their legacy continued, and though their eyes had shut long ago, indeed the ancestors were watching, not with a gaze from eons gone, but with the eyes of every living kin. Each generation was the embodiment of the ancestors cast anew by the Votan. The galaxy changed, stars died, planets were destroyed, and civilizations fell. But as long as the Votan endured, the ancestors still lived.
Wait. I want to read that again. The ancestors are
civilizations fell. But as long as the Votan endured, the
ancestors... No, the ancestors were dead, but through the first truths, their legacy continued. And though their eyes had shut long ago, indeed the ancestors were watching, not with a gaze from eons ago, but with the... Oh, because these are like the original kin when they actually had like free will and they weren't clones. I see. Each generation was the embodiment of the ancestors cast anew by the Votan. Right, gotcha, because the Votan is the one replicating them. That makes sense. The galaxy changed, stars died, planets were destroyed, and civilizations fell, but as long as the Votan endured, the ancestors still lived. Gotcha. I guess I don't understand how them uploading the data is killing the Votan yet, but I guess maybe we'll find out in the last couple minutes here.
Ancestors still lived. I do want to end this last bit with an enjoyable quote from one Kim. As you may have assumed, the Leagues of Votan are space dwarves with a corporate sci-fi motif, but they are still very much
too many Chrome tabs. There's no such thing. I want you guys to know, chat, there's no such thing.
Dwarves. They're squat, they're strong as hell, and they hold serious grudges. This time it's just more about your contracts than anything else. And so because of this, they might treat most things about how you would expect a capitalistic dwarf would treat things. You misunderstand, human. I am not here to debate. I am not here to compromise. What you see as yours, I am taking for my kindred. You want to bargain? Torek, unholster our means of negotiation.
20k years of Chrome tabs. I see. So like the tabs don't disappear when they die. I guess they're not dying. I don't because they're because every time a new one is born, they're uploading the data. Right. Okay. Right. That makes sense. They just need to Have they considered downloading more RAM? Like, I'm just saying. Have they considered? I feel like that would be my suggestion. Is to maybe download some more RAM. I think they could get a nice PC upgrade. I know that the RAM market is rough right now, but I think if they had upgraded their RAM, they might you might be onto something. In this economy, doubt you're right. It is pretty expensive right now. It is pretty expensive.
As the Great Crusade continued, humanity would find their missing Primarchs, re-establish the locations of all of their various worlds, and finally reclaim what the Emperor was always hoping for. But eventually, all the Emperor sought to build would be his undoing. His original attempt to have all of the Primarchs lead his great armies and usher humanity into the better ages would end up crumbling down. And we will learn about how the Imperium backslides and the horror of the modern day of 40k in part 2. I will see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching.
Yay! Thank you, Bricky. That was good. I feel like we learned so much in this one in particular. I feel like we learned just like a lot. Beta Lily, oh yeah, happy birthday. Thank you so much for the super chat. Full of pizza and even more full of beer. Are we talking about safe stores now? That's the faction I play. They're cool. I like the lore. The lore for them is really, really cool. And I like the whole idea of them kind of like, they know all these things and the Empire thinks that they know all these things, but they don't actually know all the things, right? I think that's very cool. I like Votann, but I don't really care much for dwarves personally. I think it's just an aesthetic thing. I am very aesthetically biased, as you can imagine, because that's all I ever talk about is the aesthetic biases that I have. And I only really like the ones that look like cute girls or mechs. We'll be getting to the Tau in the next episode, so I'm excited to learn about their whole deal in more detail. And I really do want to do the Space Marine video because I'm kind of curious about all the different Primarchs. Yeah, I want to do all the Primarchs and such too. Let's just double check what we went over today. We did the Necrons and we did the Chaos with the Chaos Gods. We did Eldar, and then we did Slaanesh, and then we had the breakdown of the Craftworld Eldars, and then the Drukhari. And then we talked about the Emperor, Adeptus Mechanicus, and the Imperial Guard, right? The Imperial Guard, which he didn't really go over too much in the last video, so it was kind of interesting to learn more about the Imperial Guard too, and the Imperial Knights as well. We got like really in depth with kind of how they worked and how they're kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender. And then we did Votann. Wait, so is there a group called Votann, or are they called kin? Like, how do people refer to them? They call them the Leagues of Votann, or like what? How are you referred to them as? The Leagues of Votann. Wait, let me also turn on my BGM real quick. Leagues of Votann. Because Votann is the computer, right? The AI. So the race is called the kin. The faction is Leagues of Votann. And right. And then the Votann's a big computer. And then each person is the kin. Right. Okay, gotcha. So like, if you were saying like, if that was your main faction, do you say, oh, I play Votann? Or would you say like, I play the Leagues of Votann? Or would you say like, I play the kin? I guess. Votann is a dementia AI like you. Excuse you. Yes. I play the Leagues. LOV, maybe? People just say play Votann, shortened to Votann. I think everyone would understand all of these. League of Legends! Say Rock and Stone, they'll understand. Space Dwarves, true. I'd say League of Votann. Do not say play League or you'll risk getting banned from stores. LOV. A lot of folks in clock what you play just by your models. I mean, I guess it's more like if you were in casual conversation and you were like, hey, what faction do you main? Like, I guess I was just curious what colloquially people were calling it. I would say I play Votann. The same way people would say I play Marines, even if they specifically meant the Adeptus Astartes Dark Angels. Gotcha. You told them about the starter set. I did. I didn't realize that there was only one type of starter set, but chat told me there's only one type of starter set. So I was telling them about the project, and if you guys were not here earlier, we were talking about it, but I'm going to be doing a project. Zephyr Arcade has very kindly... They're going to be sponsoring a box of the Kill Team starter set. They're going to be sending it over to my way. And Hiyori Mokami, my gen mate, she and I will be doing Kill Team. We're going to be painting the minis. And we're also going to be playing them live on stream too. So if you guys are interested in that and want to check it out, feel free to check us out and stay tuned for that. Sponsored by Games Workshop. No. Sponsored by Zephyr Arcade. Zephyr Arcade will be sending that to us. So you can check out also, if you look at the link in the pinned comment, or if you put !Zephyr, XEPHER, I have a code and you can get 10% off of any of your purchases if you're buying anything for Warhammer or for anything else too. They have a lot of other cool stuff. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some stuff for that, and I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be really cool. And you guys can yeah, if you want to buy any more Warhammer stuff, feel free to check out the link too. Zephyr Arcade is super awesome and they're really kind, so be sure to check out their store. Yeah. Do you know if Huri's going to learn the lore, or are we dunking her in as his full cold water experience? I think she wants to get around to doing the lore, but I think she was like, everyone's kind of doing it right now, so she's giving it some space for everyone to do their thing, and then she's going to hop on it a little bit later. What kill team are you building? I believe the starter set comes with like the blue Space Marines. What is that? The Aqua Marines. And it also comes with the Nurgle Chaos Marines, I think. The Death Guard. Yes, Death Guard. So I don't know. I'll probably let Hio just pick. I'll do whichever. Aqua Marines. Oh, it's the Ultramarines. Well, sorry. Ultramarines, Aquamarines, same thing. They're both color names. Which are the most stinky? I mean, if we're talking about frequency of showering, I guess it's me. But if we're talking about vibes, it's definitely Hio. I mean, she's a like wolf, like that's inherently stinky, you know what I mean? You can play the Death Guard. I'm assuming she's gonna want to pick the Space Marines. I'm assuming I'm gonna just get the Death Guard by default. Also because I called Nurgle cute at one point. But I feel like a lot of the... I don't know. I'm not really into the other stuff that I've seen of Nurgle, you know? AI doesn't stink. That's what I'm saying. Stop making fun of me. Aquamarines and Ultramarines aren't that far from each other, okay? Okay! Only one way to find out, sniffa. No sniffa. Maybe in the future after the kill team started, you can look at some other teams. Yeah, I would love to. I know that chat was saying that there's different kill team boxes, so I'm sure like once we both get a better grasp on the lore and we've actually done the starter kit, we can do like other games that we could play together. Hio is like the only person that's kind of in close proximity to me that I could rope into doing this with, so it's probably just gonna be me and Hio. But in the future, if I find other girls that are interested in Warhammer and they live close by, or if they're visiting, we definitely can prep to do like more kill team stuff in the future. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. I had a lot of fun today. It's always really fun. Bricky does a very good job of explaining things, and I feel like he's very eloquent and also very like good at making things kind of exciting. And obviously the Warhammer lore itself is really cool, so I've been enjoying it a lot. I hope you guys have been enjoying it too, because I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Yeah. Yeah, it is really digestible, isn't it? I feel like I would be overwhelmed otherwise, but I think that Bricky does a really good job. So even though it's not anime, you know, I will say I don't like looking at any of their faces, but at least it's interesting enough, so it gets a pass from me, I suppose. I suppose. It's fun sharing this hobby and seeing other people who might not have considered it to find a thing to latch onto. Like, I've been to so when I was growing up, the mall near me had a really big Warhammer store. I think it was a Games Workshop store, actually. And I remember being like, whoa, Games Workshop. And I went in there thinking they sold video games, and they did not sell video games. So I was not interested. But now I'm like, oh man, I guess maybe I would have been into it, but I just didn't have anyone around me that liked Warhammer, so I had no way of being introduced into it, or I had no incentive, I guess, to get into it because no one around me was into it. So yeah, anyway, it's been really cool to get into it and to learn more about it, and the community has been really awesome. Everyone's been very welcoming and very sweet, and a lot of really nice comments, and a lot of people also even saying that they don't even watch VTubers, but they popped by because I was doing stuff like this is really, really nice. So I really appreciate all of the nice comments, and I appreciate all of the nice community members that have been you know, here. If you guys enjoy the stream and want to check out my other stuff, please feel free. Yeah, it's not a lot of Warhammer stuff, and I am a massive weeb, so I only do anime shit normally. But we also have a Discord community. Feel free to check it out in the description. You can join. If you have membership, be sure to link your YouTube or your Twitch sub so you get access to special spaces in the Discord too. But otherwise, I'd love to see you there, and I'd love to see you guys around for other stuff too. I will catch you guys in the next one. When am I streaming, chat? I think I'm streaming tomorrow. Is that right? Let me check. I am checking. No, tomorrow we are resting, and I'm streaming on Saturday for the Arunia collab. I hope you guys will come watch the Arunia collab. And on Sunday, I'll be finishing my Shadow Fox Zoids kit. Not quite Warhammer, but it's kind of related. If you like mech and you like to watch building streams, feel free to come by on Sunday. Tomorrow, I might do a hightail gorilla. We'll see. We'll see. It'll depend on how much work I can get done and whatnot. Might come by to paint along. Yes, please do. And you can always use my hashtag. My live hashtag is hashtag XXLiminaXX on Twitter. I really love to see what you guys are building or working on. People also really like to share their miniatures or their Plamo builds, their Gunpla builds in Discord, and I love seeing what you guys are making, so please feel free to share. I would love to see. Especially if you make a Limina themed one. Those are so awesome. So please share those. I love seeing them. Yes, yes. Speaking of sharing things, we do have our merch going on right now. It is in the description box on YouTube. On Twitch, you can hit !merch. We have our debut merch for my current gen Arunia of Glitch Stars. There isn't that much more time left for the merch, so be sure to check it out. Speaking of not much more time, I think there's only 1 or 2 days left on the clipping contest. If you guys haven't submitted your entry for the clipping contest, be sure to do so. There's more information on that in my YouTube posts on Twitter and also on the Glitch Stars Twitter, so definitely check that out. If you're already clipping stuff, you have a chance to win all of the merch too, so be sure to check it out. Yes. Current gen, she wants more gens in the future. I mean, surely, eventually, we will have more gens, so you know. All right, Limina, thank you guys so much again. I had a lot of fun. Thank you always for being patient also. I know that I'm really new to the space and I don't really understand everything. So I ask a lot of questions, but thank you guys for being so patient and understanding and explaining things very well to me. I really, really appreciate it. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. If not, I'll see you guys on Saturday. Limina, have a good rest of your day or a good night. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.